Everyone, hope everything is going well. Tonight, we have a few guests, and we may have a few more coming on in the coming hour or so. But LT, who apparently is my bodyguard, what's going on, man?
How are you? Can you hear me, Raul?
Yep, yeah, I can hear you.
Thank you for having me on. Appreciate you having me on, and one of our brothers here, the PPP crew. Yeah, I guess I am your bodyguard. Kind of been more vocal in the last week or two, so want to live up to that reputation. So why not? Thank you for having me on, and it is great to see Father Steve here.
Steve, what's going on, man?
Not much. Busy weekend. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me. Good to see you both.
Yep. All right, let's take a look at some of the comments before we get into random topics like we always do. Christy, what's going on, man? Internet has been crap at home, so I'm sending this now on way home. Appreciate all you guys do. Trimming cars has been happening for too long. Too much hanky. Thank you, LT, AIH, Steve, and Shark. Well, thank you. Kamikaze Sports Cards, what's going on? Brendan Ryan, what's going on? Hoff, I'm here for the vibes. I'm sure you definitely are. All right. JMS63 says, I'm here for the free stuff. Bob Boozle, can't wait for Ken Golden to pop on. All right. No, I don't think that ever is going to happen. If he does come on, I'm going to be asking some questions that he wouldn't like. So why is your name in the Mastro papers? And are you tied to card porn in any way, shape, or form? That's not going to happen.
You'll get censored.
Yeah, I'm already canceled. I'm not allowed to be shouted out on the card porn account. So
Raul, you're not sponsored either, right? I don't think you'll
no, just maybe some AdSense revenue here and there, but that doesn't pay even
Good for you, Raul.
Mortgage.
Good for you.
All right, and then last comment before I read the others later on. Ryan, your brother Steve, Rahul, your city treated me well this week. Well, that's great. And next time you're in town, just DM me and we'll just hang out.
I tried to make it happen. He said he was busy. He was
I'm sure. Yeah, I saw your pictures. You were at Wrigley and US Cellular. I mean, which used to be Comiskey, but both great stadiums, even though I'm a Cubs fan.
Raul.
Yes.
Don't forget to say hi to the moles and the people watching.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Moles, what's going on?
We love you guys. We love you guys, and I see everything you guys are doing.
Yeah, we know who you are, We're not stupid.
Just look at the stories. Look on the Instagrams, my stories on Instagram.
I'm pretty stupid.
I got you.
I buy KD cards. I'm pretty stupid.
Stop pumping, Steve. See, you are the typical influencer. Why would you pump it after he lost, bro?
I just said I was stupid.
All right. Let me just take a look at this.
You got some comments today, Raul.
Yeah, I got a lot of comments. I'm just making sure that one of the guests
good, man.
Didn't DM me. Okay, but anyways, let's just talk about the Lakers, right? I'm not watching too much basketball yet. I will in the coming weeks ahead. We're in the third round coming soon. So you're out in the LA area. LT, what are your thoughts on your home team?
Oh, well, thank you. Steve and I what I appreciate about coming as a good friend is the ability to communicate. And of course, you, Raul, and speaking with sports. And so it's just, we get in very intricate conversations and no biases. It's funny because I'm not a LeBron James fan. I'm sure you feel the same way, Raul, Steve. And, I've been a Laker fan since I was born,
I got my bets hedged, though.
Yeah, of course he has to cut me off and put his little card and rub in my face. But yeah,
I'm in a Cavs uniform, by the way.
I am very happy. The Lakers, considering they went from 2-10 I think the percentage they said on, I think it was Bleacher Report, was some crazy statistic, 0.002 of making the playoffs when they start off that horrible season, right? And as I said with anything, I'm not a LeBron fan. I'm a Laker fan, right?
I wouldn't be
I don't
either.
love players. MJ's my GOAT. You guys know this. But I respect the fact on what he's done, and just like Steve, we were talking about, he has always put players around him that complement his style. And I'll say it right here, he's not the GOAT because he's not an MJ. With the way that the Lakers built it with Darlingham, first year coach, and Rob Pelinka bringing all the different pieces in at the trade deadline,
Boom.
I was actually pleasantly surprised
Boom.
on how well they did. Like, I really was surprised on the turnaround time. Rui Hachimura, D'Angelo Russell, right? You've got Austin Reeves stepping up, Lonnie Walker coming in later on, Mo Bamba hoping to get healthier, but just a lot of good different players that stepped up in roles and surprised a lot of people. But the experience in the playoffs, and as much as I don't like LeBron, he's been to 10 NBA finals, right? The playoff experience comes in later on that does help gear that team in. Of course, Anthony Davis and him won a championship together. That does tie in later on. Not to take anything from the Warriors, of course. But watching this team play the last two game sixes, I've been, impressed in how they played their defense and was able to score. That's always been the Lakers teams is defensively they're great, just like with Frank Vogel, but then offensively, can they score consistently? And they've been showing that. What do you guys think?
I think Rob Pelinka is the MVP of that team because when La GM has his way, that roster was ass. If you remember when La GM orchestrated that roster, he had Russell Westbrook and Pat Beverly there, and that's why they sucked ass. And once somebody actually got into their position, was able to do their job, Pelinka gutted that shitty ass roster and brought in actual role players. So, yeah. And it's probably nice to have somebody like Austin Reeves doing what he's doing in the fourth quarter so a certain somebody doesn't have to take any big shots at all or have to score in the fourth quarter at all. And just good luck for AD now that he has to actually play center in a series.
Yeah, I haven't watched too much basketball this year, but I do keep track of, just the basics going on. And I'm quite impressed in how the Lakers have turned it around. Just me being the tinfoil hat guy, I'm just thinking, hey, look, LeBron was injured for quite some time. That seemed like a legit injury. But then Anthony Davis was, injured for quite some time this year. I'm just wondering, were they as injured as, reported? And they just saved all their energy for the playoffs. I don't know, food for thought.
I think once they got a real roster in there, then they were inspired to play. That's what I think. And I think they were unmotivated, and you could tell how toxic it was when Westbrook was there and Pat Bev. And no disrespect to them guys, but those are not guys that are going to fill out a LeBron James roster. They're not shooters. That's not going to complement LeBron. Russell Westbrook is a phenomenal player. He's got a great name. He's got a cemented career, but he's not a guy that should have been there in the first place. LeBron doesn't need another ball-dominant, non-shooting guard outside on the wing or another guy who can only slash. That's his job, is to slash and get to the bucket. But people can call me what they want. No basketball. I'm just a hater. Whatever.
Yep. I mean, I think a few weeks ago, or maybe a month ago, we got into the discussion, hey, there's this one, what is it, UFC fighter. He made the allegations that LeBron is getting or he's using some sort of illegal substance, performance enhancers. Now, we're talking offline about this, and we're discussing that, hey, look, you shouldn't be singling out LeBron because probably other players as well have used this. Steve, your thoughts on that?
I mean, did he probably use it? I can't remember the time frame. We talked about it before a while back.
Yeah.
But I think, I mean, I don't think it was just him. I think it was a league thing going on where a lot of superstars were using it because you saw a lot of guys like losing weight real fast once they started testing and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, listen, LeBron is a billionaire pretty much. He's his own conglomerate. He's got the resources and money to put into his body, and like respect to him, he takes care of himself. He spends the money. He's going to have, he's going to be able to play as long as he wants, really.
LT.
What was the topic again?
It was just like, hey, we're discussing before we started that, hey, look, that UFC fighter made the allegations that LeBron is using performance enhancers. And I was just saying, hey, look, was it a league-wide spread issue?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Hey, something Sport Card says live with stream. It's covering your face. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah, I know, the StreamYard thing.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got millions of dollars and you are playing for championships, sponsorships, endorsements, movie deals, the whole 9 yards. And so if you're not cheating, you're not trying. So, I mean, it's a one thing of getting caught, right? And there's one thing of getting called out, right? There's a silver lining. Who's actually going to know the truth, right? LeBron spends $1 million, which is chump change to him, a year on his body. So who knows what he's getting, put in. It's just like I told you in my analogy of Patrick Mahomes, when he got his ankle was out, right? That crazy before the Super Bowl, right? And then he played. So I don't think it's not going to be hard to figure out that there's obviously performing enhancing stuff.
Yeah, I think I kind of like, was he probably on certain stuff that a lot of other guys were using? Probably. Do I care that much? No. It's kind of like when people shit on Barry Bonds for like taking stuff when it was like he's just the scapegoat because everybody else was doing it too. He still just was that much better than everybody. But LeBron's great too. So, when these things come up, the best of the best are the ones who kind of get the barrel of the bat, so to speak. But yeah, I mean, let's be honest. Do you really think LeBron was the only guy using stuff?
No.
And we're talking about this. Bob Boozle made an interesting point. Did they test for stem cell injections? And then I think both of you are telling me about Kobe and something about stem cells. I've never heard of this.
Yeah.
So explain this, LT.
So yeah, Kobe, when he did it, he went over to Germany. Yeah, and basically what he was doing was because carrying the Lakers for so long after Shaq, he had issues with his knees, and basically what he did was he went to get a procedure done, and he was one of the first people to do it because a lot of people are scared to go out of country to try these new things, and basically from what I understand, is they take your blood and take a certain amount of it, then they circulate it around and it aerates it, and then they inject it into the site, and it's like it basically renews all the tissue, the ligaments, and all that kind of stuff.
Cyclists have been in trouble for doing stuff like this, like over Tour de France. Cyclists,
that's what Kobe did,
and stuff like that. Yeah, Joe Rogan talks about it, I think, too.
That's interesting. This is the first time I've ever heard of like stem cell being used, and I know, if you want to get into the tinfoil hat stuff, circulating regarding his early death. So I'm looking at this. I didn't find about this till this year. Kobe Bryant was suing Big Pharma, and the first court date was set for 3 days after his death. That just seems messed up, in my opinion. Did you hear about that, Steve?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are your thoughts? Does it just seem like a weird coincidence? Is it like hanky panky?
It's just irony. It's just irony. Just like how I get shadow banned on Instagram. Just irony.
Yeah.
Anybody who talks about anything that's actually true, that if you haven't noticed in the news or in the media or social media, they don't want you talking about it. So yeah, it's just irony. It had nothing to do with Kobe going down. God rest his soul in all seriousness, fellow Catholic. Yeah. Nothing to see here.
Yeah, nothing to see here. LT, do you think any of these tinfoil hat stuff is?
Oh, me? You
Yeah,
want my opinion?
yeah. I want your
I,
opinion.
I
What were your thoughts
oh,
about?
I'm one of the most unpredictable people out there. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. It's one of those things. The internet is a crazy place, and if you really want to know your version of the truth, it's just a Google away, and you can find it. You can find your own opinion, make your own decision. But I mean, yeah, I mean, it's not it's not a secret that there's stuff that goes on. I'm not gonna get too much into it because that's how I became your bodyguard, Raul. Because apparently, if I say anything about a black athlete, I become racist. So I'm a minority myself. So mind blown.
All right, let's take a look at some of the comments. And yes, you are my bodyguard, according to some people out there. All right, so Dan the Cardman was saying, Dale, keep in mind drugs that boost recovery are still considered performance enhancing. It's why TH Dillashaw got popped for IPO. I'm not sure what that's in reference to. Maybe.
I know what he's talking about.
What is he talking about?
He's talking to DJ Dillashaw. He used to be under one of my coaches, but yeah, he got hit with exactly what Dan was saying with the recovery. I mean, a lot of mixed martial arts fighters, especially at the pro level, they do the same stuff. Especially John Jones. It's not George St. Pierre, all these guys, especially with certain sports that destroy your body. You're going to need those kind of things on there. So that's basically what he's referring to.
Okay. Sports Card Collector Chronicles.
What's up, SCCC?
I think he should be on one of our live streams in the future if he's up for it.
Yeah, I've talked to him before.
Yeah, he seems to have pretty good videos. All right, Dan says recover quicker lets you train more. Okay, kind of like what you were saying. Most of that stuff is banned by the USDA and WADA. Okay, that makes sense. Yes, justice for Kobe. Justice for Kobe.
No, I like Dr. 8's comment.
Dr. 8, my buddy John. He says, why do they need recovery drugs? They don't even try most of the time in the NBA. Oh, boy.
Steve, did you see that?
It's my buddy John. He says, why do they need recovery drugs? They don't even try most of the time.
He's right, dude. I don't know what they're trying to recover from in the NBA.
He's not wrong.
Oh, man.
Hey, Bob Boozle has another good one. He has a classic gold comment.
What is it? Irony more like tinfoil? Is that one?
No, look at what Bob Boozle just put. He's spot on.
They need recovery from keeping up with the Kardashians.
If you even shake hands with a Kardashian, you could pretty much say your career is done. Ask anyone who has been near a Kardashian or Jenner. That's too bad, Bunny.
So let's take which athletes or celebrities. So there's Kanye West. He kind of did it to himself. Okay.
Hey, he ran for president.
Yes, he did
you
run.
Think I'm joking? He ran for president.
Yeah, he did run for president. That's true.
I'm not convinced if I voted.
I didn't vote that election. But there was Lamar Odom, right?
Yes.
Right. Okay. Who else destroyed their career?
Reggie Bush,
Chris Humphries. Chris Humphries was married for like
Evan
10 days.
Booker was with one.
So wait. Then it's what? Bruce Jenner, right?
Hey, Reggie Bush.
Reggie Bush. Bruce Jenner, right? Oh, wait, not Bruce. What's the person's name now?
It's Bruce Jenner. He still has a you-know-what.
Tristan Thompson, Dan the Cardman. Tristan Thompson.
Yeah, there you go. Tristan Thompson.
Bruce Jenner is still a person.
Let me just say this. Kim K was at the LA game courtside last night. Do you think she was there to watch the game, or was she hubby hunting?
No, the way I read the comments were she's with the whole team.
She's with the whole team?
Get passed around.
I'm joking, Raul. That was my favorite comment. They said she's with the whole team.
They probably pass her around like the ball.
She's like a doorknob. Everyone gets a turn.
Hey, but that's what young women look up to. So
Yes,
that's a
right.
strong, independent woman.
True.
Oh boy, Bob
Feminism.
Bob Woozle says,
Boozle, you know too much, dude.
dude,
Come on,
this
bro.
guy's like on our tinfoil hat level. Top Kardashians:
He's a
Kim,
stinker
Kendall,
PPP crew member.
Kylie, Courtney, the mom, and Chloe. Uh-oh, we got really guys. Uh-oh, you offended someone, Steve.
Oh, well.
And
All right.
you
Where's
can
your
always
K-
you can always shut this off. It's freedom of speech.
KD cards? Where are your KD cards?
I'm a bad guy for saying what her actions are.
You had an opinion, Steve.
Yeah, how dare
Shame
I?
on you.
How dare you?
Yeah.
You got to take this white supremacy out of this chat, Steve. I'm joking, people. All right, Steven, I joke around.
We haven't even got to the other guests that are coming on yet.
Oh yeah, Hobby Shark, and then one other. Yeah.
I wait till my stream. You guys are invited, by the way. I've got a line of guests coming up. I probably should.
In all honesty, I appreciate Lauren for being in the chat.
Yeah, I
Thank you,
appreciate
Lauren.
her.
Before, so I'm not.
I
trying
like your
to
work,
stop
Lauren.
church.
I like your custom.
I had a long
Yeah,
day.
your art is
long
pretty
weekend,
amazing.
So maybe it's on me. So shout out, Lauren.
All right, I think we want to read this comment here. Hockey 99. What are your thoughts on John from Sports Card Reckoning
Shout
trashing?
out to John Reckoning. I didn't even cut you off. I love you, John. John, you're the man. I know you're watching Reckoning.
Yeah, he's gonna do a video on us.
No,
I don't know how it's gonna tie into Michael Jackson, but it will some way, shape, or form.
He has not. He loves us. I'm telling you.
Yeah, he loves our work.
John will leave a comment at some point.
Yeah, I wonder if he's listening in.
He
Or
is.
it'll be tape delay.
I know you are, John.
So
say his name. Say his name.
Right. Why don't you sing what he was singing the other day?
That's what he did. He said,
right. Well, weren't you singing "Say My Name"?
I didn't sing it. He did.
He was doing what Destiny's Child. Oh man, John is the GOAT. Yeah, John is the GOAT.
I love the characters.
Even if he's roasting me, I'm laughing.
It's the content creators. It's so entertaining. I gotta tell you,
he's the best. So Bob Woozle says, "I now believe Billie Jean is about Smokey Robinson, not Michael Jackson." John does not believe it.
Bob Woozle, he's gonna make a video on you now.
Sports Card Collector Chronicle says, "No offense, guys, but he could turn a Kool-Aid commercial into Kool-Aid drink by Smokey and Diana in less than 5 minutes."
I didn't know
Steve's opinion.
Know what he said about Neo and Dustin, but I'm sure it was entertaining.
I don't recall that one because he drops a video.
I think he called Dustin a Satanist or something.
Oh yeah, I love John. He's the man, but some of his opinions on the whole religion thing, I can't support that. But hey, man, I think he should be able to say what he wants.
He does say what he wants.
Oh man. By far the best videos out there.
I think Steve got a question.
Steve, what is your new and improved sports card investing strategy a la Jeff Wilson?
Ooh, I want to hear this one.
The best strategy I can give you is don't listen to Jeff Wilson. That's the marketing.
How dare you?
How dare you? He's
I might
the sport cards.
I might get censored now because I said don't listen to Jeff Wilson. But no, in all seriousness, these aren't investments, they're collectibles. So you should buy what goes and fits in your PC and stay within your budget, just like I've always said.
Yep.
You know, Raul, did you see my reel on Instagram?
You have a lot of about jelly beans? Oh.
No.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. If you guys go to my Instagram, there's a nice little reel on him if you forgot his investment advice. It was pretty good stuff.
I think Jeff Wilson is changing his strategy, though, from what I gather. He talked to this
because the market's been turned upside down, and people are pulling out receipts on him, whether it's PPP or the idea that, like, hey, we're actually going to show you the losses on the cards you've bought and talked up this whole time.
Steve, conspiracy theorist. Come on, bro.
Oh, yeah, I know. How dare
Steve,
you.
what about the investors, man?
How
Market
dare
movers.
I got in a big old debate with some of my good friends the other day about this whole investment thing, and I said just because money got poured in does not make it an investment now. Like
I
you
heard
can't get it, like it's not collateral, it's not a portfolio. Like these are collectibles. And again, everybody should have their opinion. I think a lot of people
Hi,
a lot of
Golden.
people are going to get misled and end up holding the bag. I just try to say the truth, so But the thing is, the truth isn't supposed to make you feel warm and fuzzy.
Exactly.
Truth is supposed to allow you to grow. And there's so many bitch-made cats in this space that treat this like it's LARPing land, and it's like, you know what? Fall with the house of cards. I don't give a shit anymore. I'm gonna buy my KDs and stay in my lane.
Your PC.
I'm not gonna say much anymore.
So
I've learned.
I saw the best example. I don't need to cut you off, Steve. Is when they try to argue that, well, it's alternate investments, it's sport cards, right? And I invest in a lot of different physical, tangible things, right? So if the argument is sport card is investment, right? Someone could say it's cardboard, right? Then what is money? Money is just paper. It's what someone's going to value at it, right?
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. You're good, Steve. You're good. Yeah.
But here's what I would say. Yes. Can cards appraise? Yes. Certain ones, based off the set, based off the serial number, based off the great player. Odds are most of them will depreciate. Sure, you could, if you want to consider that an investment, that's fine. You can. Do what you want. It's a free country. But these are collectibles. And if it's not collectible, it's not going to appraise. And odds are the overwhelming majority of these cards aren't collectible, especially modern. And now after this Mathis situation, who really wants to go balls in deep in this high-end graded vintage right now? Honestly, who honestly wants to do that?
The big rollers.
WCC just had the Bill Russell sale, and it's like, whatever. But they're just. Do you think that's awful ironic that card sells right after the Evan Mathis shit comes out?
So get this. So I believe, someone sent me a DM after I did the video. I think Probstein was the one that bought the card. That's why the media ran with it. So it makes sense why it may not be paid, but Probstein allegedly bought the card. So that's why, get one of the big dudes in there. I mean, Probstein was buying the Fleer 86, I think, on eBay. That collectibles sold for 130, 140,000, whatever it was. So just FYI.
So auction house to auction house sale.
Yeah. That's an interesting note.
It sounds like a network.
Yeah.
Almost kind of makes it something like Evan Matthews saying actually makes sense.
It's a good old boy network, right?
You guys also forgot that Jeff Wilson wears a shirt that says my cards are my 401k plan. Just remember that.
Hey man, he can wear whatever he wants.
It's a 401k plan, man.
Yeah,
cards are investments.
Yeah, when you go buy a house, they're gonna ask you, what's your card portfolio look like?
Exactly.
Banks want to know, bro.
What's on the S&P 500 at Market Movers this week?
So the thing is, let's take a look at some of the good old boy
I saw
networks.
John Reckoning.
We got to look at some of the good old boy networks.
I love you, John.
But let's look at this. Crooked Ken says the cockhead Jeff ruined the hobby that I love. Well, I know that both of you are competing against each other. So, okay. Keep it civil, guys.
Hey,
keep it civil.
Ken, you're buying everybody out. So that's the good thing. I mean, you got to start buying everybody. You got to get Raul. You got to buy Raul next. Oh, there's Jeff.
Oh, it's Jeff. When it comes to Ben Simmons, I'm buying.
I am.
Who is Raul going to sell out to tonight? Are you going to go with Golden or Wilson?
Oh, man, that's a tough one, man. Tough one.
Raul, just do it, bro. I won't judge you, man. I'm not sure about Steve.
Breaking news. Sports Reckoning is in the chat.
What's up, John?
What up, John? He says, hello, LT and Steve, and I guess AIH too.
Yes,
I think that's the order he likes us.
Order that he likes us.
Fraud. That's why. If you weren't such a fraud, bro, he was cracking me up. LT, whatever you sent, the one video you sent of his in the group the other day. Oh my god, dude!
Which one was it?
I got like 3 minutes in, and I was already pissing my pants.
Was he bashing on Dustin, or who was he going after?
He loves us all.
It's official.
All I remember was he was talking about somebody. He's like, all your stupid bitch friends are fucking idiots. I mean, bro, he set it on fire like within 2 minutes of the video. Amazing job.
Dude, Steve, you gotta sing Say My Name. Dude, sing Say My Name.
John, come on here and sing.
We have a recording of Steve. Maybe I should pull that message of him singing.
I took a compliment. No, don't you post me singing. Damn it. I swear to God. That's the one where he was singing Say My Name, bro. It was hilarious. John, you're a fucking goat. Well, I complimented the video. And my man John took a slide at me at KD. All right, John. I'll still compliment your videos on YouTube, even though you like to take shots.
Well, isn't your guys' argument with Nick Chubb and LaDainian Tomlinson? Isn't that the whole thing?
Yeah. Well, he knows he lost that one.
John, is that true?
He lost that one. LT has better cards to collect, and LT is better.
Not this LT, John.
Yes.
Our LT, Steve's LT, LaDainian Tomlinson.
When I'm sober, I get angry.
So he did a video on John Mangini, who I like as a YouTuber, and Pepino Man, and they called themselves lover. I'm like, what? What's going on here?
I'll be back.
He said, no way.
Oh my God, this is.
John, it's not. Listen, I get the Browns, but like, let's be honest, it has nothing to do with Nick Chubb. He's always going to be a stud. Is Deshaun Watson going to show up? That's the Browns' problem. They just can't fucking figure out quarterback. And in that division right now with Joe Burrow, they got to have good quarterback play. Nick Chubb's I think he's as consistent as a running back we've had the last 5 years. I don't think it's not him the problem. Their quarterback situation is just shitty.
There, who's the Browns quarterback right now?
Deshaun Watson.
Oh yeah, that's right, Watson. That's right.
They gave him a bag too.
Why would you pay Deshaun Watson that much?
Because you're the Cleveland Browns, bro. Because you're the Cleveland Browns.
This is why I think that like some people must be compromised. Like, why would you do that when you don't know if he can even play, or would he be in jail?
I get it, John. It could happen. The Browns might take the Bengals out week 1, but week 1 doesn't matter. That's the problem. It's when it gets cold weather in that division. Who's going to show up?
LT, take a look at this.
November, man. Who's going to show up? It's just. I've been a Steelers fan for a long
Steve,
time.
look at this message.
Runs.
Steve, look at this comment.
That's wild.
You're touching that one.
No comment.
No
I don't want
comment.
no litigation.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Yeah,
hey, where's the National at? Chicago?
Yeah, it's in Chicago.
How far is Ohio from Chicago?
Excuse my 7 hours.
Excuse my California ignorance. So
it's probably 7 hours for me, but I'm on the far east side of Ohio, southeast. So I got to go
southeast.
I'd have to go all the way up north and go around the top of the state.
So where does Neil live? He lives in northeast Ohio, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I don't know exactly. I'm not gonna say, but
Neil
is northeast. Probably,
Ohio.
I would guess somewhere around Canton or somewhere around that area.
Okay.
Steve, you want to bless off Babuzo? He's got to go to confession after this.
Good. Everybody should repent.
Well, after this stream. Be interesting to see Watson go after a full training camp.
Yeah. I think he's got potential. I can't act like he's not he's not a potential candidate where he could be like, I mean, we've seen it. He is an MVP type talent. It's just
Was it with O'Brien? That's the reason why he was pretty good with the Texans. That coach.
No, he carried that
No.
team.
Yeah, probably, maybe.
He had DeAndre Hopkins, right?
He had Hopkins.
Yeah,
and
that's what it was.
Moore.
Yeah,
he had,
Hopkins.
he had a nice arsenal down there for a year or two.
But he played against what? The Saints? No, not the Saints. The AFC South. He played against the
Titans.
Titans. This is the Oilers.
The Oilers.
Yeah, the
That's how
Titans.
old I am.
Why am I drawing a brain fart?
Jaguars?
The Titans, the Colts, and
The Jaguars. I think it's the Jaguars.
Yeah,
No,
the
that's South.
Jaguars.
I
So
think
that
it's the
division at the time was pretty shitty too, because the Colts haven't been, Tennessee just the last 2 years has kind of picked it up, and I don't think he's played in 2 years. And then Jacksonville's just kind of always sucked. Now they have some potential because of Lawrence, but yeah, that I think he was, that division really sucks. So who knows how inflated those numbers were and that record was? Who knows?
The thing with Watson, they were about to go to that Super Bowl that year, but then Mahomes was just on fire that game. He was scored 5 touchdowns in a row, 6 touchdowns in a row. Remember that game?
Yeah.
In the playoff?
What was that?
2019?
19,
Was it 2019?
Wow. Sorry. Reckoning gets my attention as soon as I see his comment. I love that guy. So he has my
his
attention.
videos are classic.
Oh my.
He's a booty call.
Oh man.
Reckoning, we're gonna get you on one of the streams, whether it's mine or
if he
Raul's.
wants to come on,
You're coming on, John. I don't know which one.
I don't know what you're gonna talk about. Are you gonna curse us out?
I think it has 2 letters. I'm just gonna take a wild guess. What he would talk about. It's not Michael
LT.
Jordan.
You'd be talking about LT.
It's not Michael Jordan. It's not Michael Jordan. I can promise you that.
Not Michael Jordan?
No.
Not Michael Jordan.
Smokey!
Do we want to show our cards, our PC, because we actually are collectors, Raul? Just a suggestion?
Yeah. Show your cards that you got. I sent some of the cards that I got for TTM. I just sent them in the mail today, so.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So I don't have them on me.
No worries. So I am a collector first. I'm not any kind of category. When I go on influencers' social media pages, by the way, I never see any PC cards or nothing. So just wanted to throw it out there. But what am I to say? So I picked up. So this is the first ever Vietnamese NBA player. I was telling you guys, Jalen Williams. He's I think he's a quarter Vietnamese, half Vietnamese. This is a gold rated rookie, and it's serial number 1 out of 10. I know the lighting is kind of bad, but it's 1 out of 10. And this was a pretty penny, but this is in my PC. And then this was my pickup of the week. Actually, a guy I met him on Instagram later. I bought from him. This is Anderson Silva. So this is one of my favorite MMA fighters of all time. Serial numbered on card auto. And I bought this. So I took the best offer. And then I found out the guy was on Instagram, and then followed him. And then we were talking UFC cards. So that was pretty cool to build that camaraderie. And then I'll show 2 more because I don't want to take all the spotlight. This is Mookie. This is a Mookie Betts City Connect patch. It's serial numbered right here. So I don't know if it's off the hat or something like that, but I thought that was pretty cool. So it's Los Dodgers right there. So it's serial numbered. And then my man Aaron Donald. This one I can't wait to send out to grading. This is a blue camel prism. So it's
nice
they say. Yeah, the blue can. It's serial numbered. This thing is freaking sweet, man. I love this thing.
Cool. That's sharp.
I'll show one more off actually. And then I was actually curious because I have Lonnie Walker as he took game 4 for us. One of his first Laker cards picked up for super cheap. So I got that. So that's some pickups. Steve or Raul, however you guys want to go.
You can go, Steve. Steve, you got any cards?
Mr. Steve?
Oh, yeah, I got one that's new. Let me take it out of here because I'm sure the lighting. Yep. I know it's dark days. Everybody can have their laughs, but this is the new KD.
Damn. On card auto.
Flawless patch auto. It's
That's beautiful, man.
Logo. You know what? I've looked over this about a million times already, and it's got a 9 auto, and I have no idea why. The auto is beautiful. Like it's it. I mean, I don't know what could have made it a 9. But yeah, gold out of 10. I had an
Is it
Oklahoma City
trimmed?
one, and I wanted a Golden State flawless patch auto of his. But
Steve, you said you got it at 9. Was it trimmed? Joking. I'm just
well,
joking. I'm just
the
joking,
car's
Steve.
an 8.5, so who knows? You know, Evan might
I'm
have
totally
had
joking,
this one,
Steve.
but
Please don't censor me.
the auto, dude. I mean, these glasses aren't fake, so like I don't see that well anymore. But I just can't understand why it got a 9 auto. I think the auto's pretty. I mean, it's pretty pristine, and it's bold too. You know, there's no fading, there's no smearing. I don't know, but for a PC card, I don't give a shit. It's going to be locked away with the other KDs. And that's really the only pickup I've made since last time. I think I showed you guys the LeBron, right? The X Fractor.
Yeah.
Maybe the chat remembers. I don't remember.
That one's nice.
The 0405 X Fractor LeBron.
Dude, I love the X Fractors. I'm so looking forward to the X Fractors once Topps takes over.
They just pop right, man. They just
they're so nice, bro.
You know what I mean? Like if you find a set of a card that you like the base where it's like, man, I really like this action photo. It's like then when you put an X Fractor to it, like the Bowman Chromes or the Topps Chromes or the Topps Finest, you're like, damn, it just makes the card pop that much more. I don't know. It's one of my favorite parallels. I'll take like I know golds are what everybody hunts for, but like some X Fractors I'll take over golds just because the X Fractors look cooler.
Yep. So I'm gonna get on our new guest that was supposed to come on.
Is it Ken Golden? Bro,
well, we'll see. We'll see. Have I been bought out?
Wait. Keep the suspense. Keep the
drum roll, please.
You got 46 people. You got 46. You got 44 watching right now. You got 44.
All right, who's the guest here?
Is this the boogeyman?
Reckoning.
Hey, what's up, guys? You hear me?
It's Mind Cycle. What's going on, Ryan?
Oh, I thought it was Jesus. What's up, Ryan?
Sorry to disappoint. It's not King Golden.
So disappointed. What's going on, Ryan? We love your videos. What's
doing,
happening?
Man? Well, thanks, man. Yeah, doing okay. Sorry if I go into any coughing fits. I'm kind of fighting a cold right now, but thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yep. And for those that don't know, this is Ryan from Mind Cycle Cards on YouTube and also Instagram. So just a little bit about yourself before we get into some of the stories of how you've been some of the stories that have been viral for you. So tell us a little bit about yourself and your collecting journey.
Yeah, for sure, man. Been basically collecting since like the mid 80s, with a break, a lot of us took back in the 90s, I guess late 90s. And then I got back into cards right around 2011, 2012. The only reason I kind of remember that is when Panini was like coming into the game, right? Stop having Upper Deck and Topps producing basketball cards, which is disappointing. But yeah, really just been a collector good chunk of my life. So that's what I do, is collect cards.
Okay. Sounds good.
Respect.
So now you have been in the, you could say the news of the sports card hobby for the past couple of weeks with a few reports that you've discussed. So
Yeah.
You had one paper, I think, that also derived off of South Park Cards. It was on IG.
Right.
So for those that don't know, what was that paper all about?
Yeah, it was basically just looking at a bunch of cards that Jeff Wilson had bought during like kind of the boom, right? And so South Park Cards compiled it to kind of show like the cards that he bought after his PPP loans. But I didn't, like I've come out with videos as well. Like I don't really have an opinion on that. I think a lot of people took PPP loans for the right reasons, you know, initially because they didn't know what was going to happen, right? So that really wasn't my thing, but I picked up his data and made my own video. Just because I've always been against labeling cards as investments. I mean, this is going back even when that term first started out. And I don't know, I started seeing it probably around 2018, 2019. People started talking about their collections as their portfolio and all this. I'm like, come on, that's ridiculous. And I thought it was just going to be just a fad. But then we had guys, like Jeff Wilson and others coming in and popularizing that term. So I wanted to tell people about it. And obviously, you guys know nobody really listened to you in 2020 or 2021. So I figured now's the time, right? We have a lot of people calling this stuff out. Cards are down, which, hey, is not great, but now's the time to get people to listen, because if they're sticking around, they're collectors. I think the message can be heard now. So I came out with that video that you're referencing there, basically showing. I didn't like find every single card that he had purchased during that time period, but all the ones that South Park Cards found, and then others that I found through just like kind of scrolling through his Instagram, or not his Instagram, sorry, but his YouTube. I bought, $100,000 worth of cards. I invested $500,000 in the market, whatever, and then tracked those and showed people that, hey, you paid this price back then, told you guys this was a great buy. What are these cards worth now? So that was, my whole video was about.
Ryan, he never advertises his losses either. Don't you find that strange?
Yeah, that was kind of, the point of it is, I think he showed people that he was buying those cards, right? Which is great. You have all this money to drop, whatever, it gets clicks or whatever. Nothing wrong with that. But, when it comes down to it, yeah, you're not showing people that, first of all, that you've sold them. If you sold them, what have you made on them? That's one thing that should be disclosed, in my opinion. But, also, you're saying their investment. Well, what's the return? Right?
Yep.
What's show some profits and losses. If it's truly an investment, you should be able to show
it doesn't mean anything. Just a cute name.
Right.
Well, he's in the chat. He's in the chat right now.
He says Jeremy Lee is interviewing Jason Coons, the card trimmer, right now. Evan Mathis is in the chat glorifying chopping up cards. Oh man. Oh man, that's hilarious.
So
yeah, so Dan the card man, he puts an interesting comment here. He says lots of video also deleted, which is unfortunate. So this is what I wanted to ask Ryan about. Is that, hey, look, first of all, he deleted a lot of videos. So is the number really 1 million? And then also the cards that you have, did Jeff sell at another point where you can't say that it's an unrealized loss? So that's just like my thought process. Jeff was saying that, hey, look, to counter what you were doing is that, hey, look, he may have sold some other cards. And then on top of it, he made money in 2019, 2020, just like everyone else, hands over fist. So
yeah, exactly. And that's the thing is, like, I didn't make that video to show what he sold. I mean, I stated it right in the video. But if he wants to put in 2019 purchases and offset that, or cards that he sold, I mean, I'll update the sheet. I don't have any problem with it. I wasn't trying to hide anything. My whole goal with that is something I've been saying for years now, is just, I don't believe in cards as an investment. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't believe that you should make money on cards, that cards should be worth something. Not at all. It's just like this talk of, yes, let's buy these cards, and then they're going to be worth a ton of money in 10 years. I just didn't see it. And especially now that we know we're in a speculative bubble, which I think a lot of people that have been in the hobby for a while knew. And we were telling people that. It's like, we've seen pumps on cards for years. Like, if you've been around since 2016, there was a huge bump of the 86 Jordan Fleer rookie card. I mean, that was when it initially approached that like 100K mark, and people were talking about, this is just market manipulation, and that was happening back then. So we saw this and we're like, this is just, on a different level, but it's the same thing that's happened in the past. So
real quick, not to cut anybody off, but this is where I couldn't agree more with you. Beautifully said, Ryan. Can cards, like, this is how I always look at it. Collectibles have a market. That doesn't translate to investments. Like, two things can be true at once. Yes, collectibles are worth something, but there's no tangible, how do I want to say it? Just because there's a market behind does not necessarily mean it's a investment portfolio. And like,
right.
I think this got clouded in 2020 when the money came pouring in, people got sold a lie. And like, now we have this distorted market where I honestly still don't think we know what certain cards are actually worth now.
Yeah. And I think this chat that's up on the screen, not right now. Yeah, if you look at investing is just like the word, you're invested in something. I could say I'm invested in this chair that I'm sitting in because I bought it. You know what I mean? But I think a lot of people are talking about investments that don't understand the market, an actual market at all. They don't understand what, then in an exchange, you have like rules and regulations, which you don't have in a sports card, quote unquote, market. You just have a lot of things that you just don't have there. So, when I talk about it, I don't mean for people to take it the wrong way. And I think a lot of times, it's, oh, you mean that you can't make money on cards? No, not at all. Like, I've made plenty of money over the years on cards, but I dump it right back into buying other cards usually. But like, I think it's great that they have value, and that's part of the fun of it. I mean, even back when I was a kid, we're like, oh, our card is worth $100. I actually pulled a Scoring Kings Jordan back in the day, like the 93 Scoring Kings. And I pulled it at LCS, and the guys was wanting to buy it right there. And I'm like, no, man, this is worth $100. You're offering me $50. There's no way. I saw Beckett and stuff. I had no clue, but I held on to it. I still have it. But it was cool that cards are worth money, and that's great. But I think it's just, like you guys are saying, it got a little bit stupid.
When it got sold to me that we were in stupid land, was like, we've all known cards have had monetary value. It's a collectible. It's worth something. We know that. But when people were starting to say card portfolio as if it was an index, that's when it like came off to me like a light bulb. Like, we've hit dipshit. This is slapdick dipshit type of advice. And this is like pure delusion. And we all enjoy this because it's a collectibles market. And there's money behind all kinds of markets that aren't tangible investments. And like, the people that were pumping this narrative, like, they've hit the mute button now because they've had to.
I disagree.
I've always said, yes, certain cards can appraise. The overwhelming majority are not. They're going to depreciate. And, people are going to get left holding the bag. And I feel bad for the hobby. That's why it's gotten so noisy and so absolutely delusional. I don't like, I enjoy my lane of collecting, but like the overall hobby, it's not fun to me. Big shows and all this stuff, I don't know. I've been real turned off.
Because you don't have a market movers, you don't have a Star Wars index that the fake curator pumps. So you don't understand. May the 4th. How would you not know there's a Star Wars index out there? That's what you're doing wrong, Steve.
I'm going to start my KD index tomorrow.
That's what you need to do.
You gotta reach out to Jeff Wilson.
Hey, there's no conflict of interest. There's no bias. I'm just going to start a KD.
You could be the spokesperson for KD on Market Movers. It would work for you.
Who's the more fair person to do it? I don't have any KDs.
So what the funny part about all of that was Pancake Analytics, he keeps on sending me the chart for Market Movers, and that direction of that index keeps on going down and down, and Steve just disappeared.
I'm here. I got to take a piss.
Oh, okay. Oh wait. Are you gonna be thinking of Brittany, your girl, as Reckoning said?
Oh my God!
Oh man! But all jokes aside,
You're talking about Pancake.
Yeah. Pancake Analytics he sees that index since he's a Star Wars guy, and he says that every time he looks at it, it's just going down. And if he were to actually construct an index, he would have added more vintage cards himself, which would make sense. Not like modern cards as Curator had put in there. And what the funny part about that was, remember how I was doing videos on this, and I think Dan did a video as well. Mm-hmm. And we said that, hey, look, this is a conflict of interest. And then I think they had to say something that, hey, look, this is just for fun on Curator's end. And then what's his name? Teapot? He blocked me and he blocked you. So
you're talking about to Ryan, correct?
No, I'm talking about to you, LT. Didn't Teapot?
He follows me.
Oh, Teapot follows you now?
Yeah, I keep tabs on everything. I know who's following me.
Because he blocked me.
I know exactly who's following me. I'm not dumb. I got blocked by Investor, though, on YouTube, though, because I was making too many comments. I was making too many smart ones. I used my business mind, unfortunately.
I personally like Teapot. I'll just be honest. I think that his take is reasonable. I mean, I don't agree with everything he says, obviously, but
what's up, Neil?
I actually like the guy. I think that he has like a solid take on like being reasonable about.
I'm sorry, I just saw something in the comment section. Sorry, Ryan.
No, you're all good.
Ryan, I think. No, go ahead, bro.
No. So, have you been blocked, Ryan, by Jeff Wilson or anybody from his side?
I don't really know. I don't really keep track. Does it just mean like you can't view their page or something like that? I mean, I think
on IG. Like I know Jeff Wilson follows me and I follow him on IG. I know that. But Teapot doesn't.
Yeah.
I know. Brendan Ryan says, never heard of being blocked by Teapot. Must be good. Laugh out loud. And same thing with Dan. Dan, if you're in the chat still, confirm if you're blocked by Teapots.
What are we talking about?
Teapots.
We're talking about being blocked by certain people.
Teapots.
I guess I'm not, because I can view their stuff. So
he's part of the sports car investor team.
Oh, teapot. Oh, I thought we were talking about collectibles and shit. I was saying like teapots. Collectible
Probably switch gears by the time you got back.
I got you.
Go to the Crooked Ken.
He's actually, I think he follows me on Instagram. I followed him because he followed me. I don't know enough about him, but you know, he seems all right to me. Just because you guys are douchebags and he blocks you. Real recognize real. I got you, Teapot. I think he's Catholic too, so shout out, brother.
Raul, I think it's pretty cool to see that you have somebody that comes onto your channel that's cool with other people, Ryan, and he's talking with us. That goes to show that it's like, you know, there's no tinfoils and negativity and stuff, that people are comfortable to come on here. So I applaud you, Raul.
Yeah.
I applaud you, Raul.
Thank you.
I appreciate your videos too, man. I mean, I haven't done a whole ton of videos, but when I first started doing them, I was talking about your videos because it was kind of an inspiration to see people out there talking about some of the stuff that nobody else wants to talk about. So
thank you.
I've always appreciated what you've done.
Don't cry, Raul.
Yeah, sorry, I was laughing through what you're saying, Ryan, but Crooked Ken Golden's comments, I'm just dying.
Ryan, you gotta learn. I'm sure you've seen these streams, Ryan. These are raw for a reason. This is building a bear. This is just.
I'm good with it, man. I like to speak my mind too. You know, I think it's great. You know, don't hold back. It's like be real with people.
I'm pro censorship.
Yeah, that's
we're gonna cancel you, man.
We should talk about that topic because Ryan, we've had
it's a good segue.
So I'll start off. Ryan, I know that we've discussed, and this is not taking anything from Raul's platform. I mean, we're friends, obviously, so we switch back between our streams. I hope to have you on one of my future ones. But yeah, the whole censorship, right, Ryan, with the whole blowout cards forum, right? I thought that was
Right.
complete bullshit. And did you see how many people galvanized right behind you? Me, AIH, a couple of other people immediately shared your stuff. And you saw.
To leave me out.
Did you share the story?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
So
fair.
I love you, Steve. But yeah, we shared Ryan's thing. He was blocked on the forum of, and I don't know if you want to talk about that, Ryan. But how was that for you? Everyone was getting behind you. And
yeah, sure. For anybody that's interested, I did come out with a response video yesterday just to give thanks to people because, to be honest, that was kind of overwhelming, the amount of people that were reaching out to me. But yeah, just a rundown of it. Basically, I've been a long time poster on Blowout. I think I joined Blowout in 2015, but even a couple years prior, I was, viewing the forums, getting info and various things that people post on there. I mean, back in the day, it was just a wealth of knowledge, right? Then I created that, sports card investor video, right? Going over the cards that he had bought and where they're sitting today. So I threw that up and, a couple people commented, it dropped off the front page as things do. And then let's see, what has it been? Not this past Wednesday, but the Wednesday before that is when I did my response to his live stream or podcast. It's a podcast, right? I think Jeff Wilson Show podcast. And didn't put two and two together that day, but that was actually the day that I had that video deleted. Well, Blowout deleted it, and I guess suspended me that day because that's the day I couldn't get in. I'm like, what the heck's going on? Why am I banned on here? It just said forum rules. Well, didn't figure this out until like the weekends, but a poster on there who I've chatted with a bunch and stuff like that. He's like, hey man, I just realized I went back to the old sports card investor thread and like your video is gone on there. So then I put two and two together. I was like, okay, I responded to the Jeff Wilson Show on Wednesday. That's the day I noticed I'm blocked on Blowout, and now my video is gone on Blowout. So that was kind of odd, right? When you think. So anyway, I threw up that on Instagram. I think it was like last Sunday, I want to say, and just had a ton of people reaching out. It got posted to Twitter. It became this thing, as things go in our small hobby world. But a lot of people reposting it, reaching out to me, saying like this is bullshit and whatnot. And it was just good to see, people standing up for that because I think it was bullshit. To be honest, I really don't have any intention to go back to Blowout, but I guess I could in a month if I wanted.
That's pretty fucked up that you're pretty much just providing receipts and you get censored.
Yeah, I mean,
regardless, it's almost like there's this weird idea that the truth gets censored.
Yeah.
Huh. Kind of crazy.
The truth shall set you free. And
I just remembered the reason I wasn't able to share that LT is because I got shadow banned on IG. That's why.
Yeah.
I do remember. I got shadow banned. Anyway, go ahead.
You got shadow banned. That's the whole point of the censorship, right? That's the whole point of it.
Yeah, exactly. So here's my thought process. So there's this forum that I use, and I talked about in a video. It's called SCF. I think it's called Sports Card Forum. This is where I get like the TTM addresses for all these athletes. And I noticed that Sports Card Investor is a sponsor to that. So trying to connect the dots, I'm just thinking out loud and asking questions. Is Sports Card Investor sponsoring Blowout? Because Golden, I've been told, may have affiliate links on Blowout forums. And people are telling me, hey, look, Blowout forums censors people when they go after Ken Golden, allegedly. So is it the same thing going on with Sports Card Investor, where, look, they want to make sure that if he is giving them sponsorship money, they want to be more kind to Jeff? I don't know. I'm just thinking, not saying this is the truth.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's good to question it because well, if you go to Blowout, golden ads are everywhere. I mean, I think I've seen one other ad like pop up randomly, but it's like 99% golden ads. And yeah, I can tell you for a fact, people have been banned because they talk about golden. Threads have been moved, threads have been deleted 100%. Because I visit that frequently. I've dropped off like kind of visiting it last year or two. But yeah, a guy that I personally really liked, Abra Calabro is his name over on Bullet Forums, forum member for years and years. We don't know the specifics, so I can't say the specific thread that got him banned, but it was one of those topics, right, that were being discussed. And yeah, they banned him for good, as they have a lot of members, to be honest. And they deleted threads for sure. There used to be actually a sports card investor thread that was bigger than the one that I posted mine to that got deleted. Like if you go back, I have a video that I did on the PPP loan thing, and I left the link in there so you can try to click it, but it's gone. They deleted that one a long time ago.
So you know what we have to do if you're gonna make any thread, anyone listening, you gotta archive it through the Wayback Machine. So then basically
Now
you
you're giving your
could,
secrets away.
because I've archived some articles, and I told LT what articles that I archived. So if they get deleted, I have them, and I could access them.
It's a great idea.
And
because
screenshots
this
a great thing too.
This
I
is
don't know
what I
you
did with.
nerds are talking about.
You don't know.
Nerds.
So sports card nonsense. I don't know if you were listening into the Evan Mathis interview. Did any of you listen to that? I think some of you have, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you did. Okay. So in that, Dan the Cardman let me know that they're talking about small channels, probably like mine, probably like Hobby Shark, probably like Dan's. And he was like talking crap about it. So when I saw that, and then I found out that he did a sponsorship with Collectible, I went to the Wayback Machine, and I found out that guess who sponsored them? Collectibles, right? And Collectibles, if Jeff Wilson allegedly lost $1 million, it's the fact that Collectibles wrote down $13 million. This year, based on sales from 2022. So it's just quite interesting, and that shut up sports card nonsense. So that's how you do it. It's the Wayback Machine.
Yeah,
Anyways.
that's a good thought. I actually I took a bunch of screenshots of the PPP one, and then I think I got like most of the old Jeff Wilson thread. I just scrolled through it on my phone real quick because they were deleting stuff around that time pretty heavily, and I was like, just capture this real quick just to have it.
Yeah.
And you're right. It's good for going back and looking at things. I mean, I'll be honest, like Blowout has turned into a little bit of a hater zone for some stuff. It gets a little bit hairy in there, especially politics and stuff. And I get the whole thing. Like if you bring politics into there, I mean,
that makes sense.
They've got a section for that. Stick it in there, and they moved a bunch of stuff. I get the PPP loan thing. I actually started the PPP loan thread on there. They got moved off topic because it did go off rails, and I get it. It's hard to manage a forum. So in some respect, you gotta appreciate that they're kind of doing what they can. But yeah, when it comes to the censorship stuff, man, that just rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah.
I
gotta say something.
It wasn't true, and you didn't provide the evidence. If it's not true, I even then, what are you gonna do? But the fact that it's in his own videos, he's provided the receipts, and you're just bringing them to light. That's what I would be frustrated.
And I think he allegedly, threatened litigation to people earlier on. This was before you.
Absolutely.
I think South Park Cards was threatened with litigation, so I think he had to take down one of his older IG channels. I'm not cool with that, to be honest. People come after me, but I clap back. That's how I do. I'm not going to sue them, right, or threaten them with litigation. I'm just going to annoy the crap out of them.
So
and some of them shut up. Yeah, go ahead.
So it's Ryan Raul. It's think people are learning on my IG because I'm pretty active on there now, and I do a little YouTube here and there. But screenshots are one thing, right? But I've been watching this stuff for a long time, and in my DMs and in my saved stuff, I got stuff. You saw my story I dropped, right? Just to play around with it on the Instagram.
Mhm.
Yeah. So regarding Jeff Wilson, right? So people forget in the moment of things that happen, right? So ha ha ha, Will Grier, Bo Bichette, that kind of stuff, right? But we're talking about advice and stuff. But just funny to me, these guys who have so much money, their PR teams suck, their quality control sucks, and their moles suck. And there's people like us who sit here, keep tabs, and we watch stuff, and we have record of stuff. And it just seems they have to always come out with something when they get put on blast. And he's very guilty of always putting a video out, right? When he does something wrong, there's always a follow-up video. Ryan, have you noticed that when he always gets accused of something, there's always a video, hey, I didn't do anything, or he has to make a ha-ha video, right? And it's a whole smoke screen to cover stuff up. Tell me you're guilty without admitting you're guilty.
Yeah, I agree, man. I mean, I've said it before, but it's narcissism, man. It really is. I mean, if you got to
It is.
watch everything out there that anybody says about you, and then, first of all, it's like if somebody calls you out and you have something to prove that what they said is wrong, just do it. Don't beat around the bush. So it's just kind of sad, and it's like I don't necessarily want to go after people, but I also want to get the message through, and what better way to do that than the guy that's been in your face for 2 years, like
Well,
if
here's this. You're a father, right, Ryan?
Yeah.
I'm a father myself, and there's a lot of people who have to love collecting and they have kids, and I'm coming for you guys right now because I'm dead straight on. I'm right on this. Is the example you're saying to kids and the kids that watch this and absorb this bullshit? That's the kind of stuff that pisses me off. I know as a father, I would laugh at these fucking clowns. Like, when I'll be at a card show, just keep an eye on my IG. You won't say shit to me, number one. You guys are scared. You ain't going to say fucking shit. But my kid ain't going to watch any of this stuff because all your stuff is garbage, complete garbage. And what you guys are doing to the children is going to mess it up for the next decade, 2 decades. Are we not in agreement, Ryan?
100%. And that's something that I've always felt like I try to get my kids into collecting because it's fun and it's enjoyable. It's like, hey, look at this cool card that you can have, and if they want to see it as it's worth a little bit of money, sure. But I think you're on YouTube, and I mean, I can look at my stats. It's probably the same for you guys. I don't have kids watching my videos, but I guarantee that Jeff Wilson does on his videos, and that's what you're telling kids is this is cool to go spend $10,000 or $50,000.
This kid has his own channel, Ryan.
Yeah, I do know that. I don't think I've watched any of them, but it's and you're right. It's the wrong message. It's this for people to call this a hobby, but then treat it as
exactly
a get-rich scheme is sad.
They will agree. It's grown men in their 40s and 50s bickering and stuff about whose cock is bigger or who has the grail or the money card. Get the fuck out of here. Really, back me up here, Steve.
First off, I'm not a father. I'm just a sweet daddy. But for everybody in the mainstream establishment who's for the kids, it's for the kids, it's for the future of the hobby. They don't give a rat's ass about the kids or the future of this hobby. This has become a pump and dump, grab the bag. Kids aren't collectors. These are collectibles, and nobody's collecting. They all watched Gary Vee videos and wanted to flip. The future of the hobby is not good. I've said it to a few people. I've said it in our group messages. Like, that's why I said earlier in the stream, it's just not fun for me. It really isn't. Big shows, all this shit. I can just buy the cards I want online. I'll stay in my little echo chamber of collecting because there's too much noise. The macro of this is polluted with bullshit and lies, a lot of lies, and I can't I don't want nothing to do with it.
So Ryan, I gotta ask. Steve,
Yep.
that's a great point. I mean,
I identify as Sweet Daddy, sir.
Sweet Daddy's
You should change your pronoun on your.
splendidity, as Reckoning will call
I don't
you.
know how to do that, dude. You're lucky I even know how to fucking work this laptop.
Just go to your tab thing, Steve. Hit the I think you hit the middle of your box, and I think you can change it.
You could
You
change
know,
it.
you see at the bottom right there in your little box thing. You click the 3 dots. See the 3 dots at the bottom on the SteamYard. On your where you see
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a nerd. Yeah. I don't know.
It's okay. So Ryan, you've been watching us for a while, I'm sure. Yep. And tell the audience, like, you coming on here as a guest. I mean, this is Raul's platform, of course, but you know, the PPP crew, as we or Build a Bear on this one. When it goes to my channel, it's PPP crew. Ryan, how refreshing is to you with the audience here, because we see the same people, and obviously the spies and the moles. How do you like the content that we come and we keep it completely raw and 100, and we don't block any comments, and we put everything on there, we address it? How is that refreshing to you, Ryan?
No, I love it. It's great. You know, it's a lot of the videos that you see nowadays just seem so fake. People standing in front of a camera.
Raul, take the comment off.
Which one?
Sorry, Ryan. Just take the comment off so you can see Steve's pronoun.
Oh yeah, I think I did it.
I did you?
I did it.
I didn't mean to cut you off, Ryan, but
you're good.
This is important, Ryan. I did so. I accomplished it.
Daddy.
Raul, just take the comment off the thing, and then you can see it. Just take Brendan's off. That's all you have to do. Just take it off.
Take that off. Where do I do?
You have to go back to his comment and remove it.
Where
it's not even cool. It's like become too big of a deal.
Yeah.
Where did he put that comment? That was way up there.
Raul is the tech nerd. He can't figure it out.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Gotcha.
Yeah, there we go.
That was like 20 minutes ago.
It's not even cool now.
There it is. Sweet Daddy.
I didn't mean, Ryan, I didn't interrupt you. Just so you know.
No, you're good. Yeah. You're good, man. And
but yeah, no, right. It's
right.
refreshing, right, Ryan? You can sit here and just say what you want.
I mean, as people can see, I don't do video, and it's more of a privacy / personal choice. But I will say that I've always kind of enjoyed not doing video in my videos, at least, because I think it makes people listen to it. A lot of times you view these videos where you can just tell it's a fake smile, man. And that goes back to like even watching the news. I mean, these newscasters don't know what they're talking about. They're just reading off a script, but smile big so everybody believes you. And I just feel like a lot of content nowadays is like that. It's written by other people. It's a script that's in front of them. Even if you're, maybe a smaller channel and you're doing your own content, it's like you're trying to fit the mold, smile, make people believe you. People should believe you because it's the truth, not because you're smiling for the camera. And I'll let you guys know. Every time I watch your guys' video, you're not doing that. You're not doing that fake smile. It's real. You're speaking from your heart or whatever. So I do appreciate that immensely.
These are the conversations that we have behind closed doors. And
these are not scripted.
These are not scripted.
Real time. You have to sit there and critical think. That's the problem with a lot of these guys. You guys are dummies because you can't critical think. You have to sit there and go to your script or talk to your PR team. That's the problem. Sorry, I had to go.
And I wanted to bring. Oh, go ahead, Steve, and I'll bring this comment.
The cable news is television, and hobby content is now YouTube television. And what I like to tell people about television is it's exactly what it says it is. Tell-a-vision. It's not real. It's scripted lies. And that's what hobby content's turned to, most of it.
Yeah.
Tell-a-vision. I'll sell you a dream, baby.
Good point.
So not to get into tinfoil hat stuff, talking about like the news in general. Maybe Steve or LT know this, but wasn't some rule passed like 8-9 years ago where basically the CIA would control part of the media? I have to go.
No, our intelligence would never do something like that. Are you kidding me? No, nothing to see here. No way. You mean propaganda? No. That's fake news. You are fake news.
Yeah, sorry
Yeah.
for bringing that side of it up. And I'm really not a conspiracy theorist or anything like that. But I'd stopped watching the news in my 20s, which has now been 20 years ago at this point, because it seems so fake to me. And I just chose to get my news content from elsewhere. I mean, that was when the web was getting popular for it. So, nice, man.
What do you have on your face, buddy?
Oh, what's up, guys? Who am I? Oh, sorry, I'm just a tough guy. I'm a tough guy up north, and I just wanted to go in here. I used to be friends with AIH, but I'm a tough guy. Sorry, just had to say hi.
I like it.
All right, so going to this next comment here is for Mind Cycle. See, this is not scripted, but ask Mind Cycle what he thinks about cocaine dealers infiltrating the hobby and pretending to be collectors and equity managers. Mind Cycle, I don't know if you know who he's talking about, but what are your thoughts
exactly
about?
what he's talking about.
So, what are your thoughts about cocaine dealers infiltrating the hobby?
Yeah, I mean, the amount of people that will repost that stuff just because some guy spent hundreds of thousands on cards is laughable to me after we know what his true identity is. That's just sad. To be honest, it just is, man. And it's like that's the people you're gonna follow, really. I don't know. It's sad to me.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, so there's some moles listening in, I'm pretty sure, or will be listening in. So
Sure.
so maybe I should go to the ESPN article on this individual, right? And it'll take a minute for me to dig this up, but I posted on Instagram the other day. I don't know if you saw that, Mind Cycle or Ryan. But let's take a look at that article. So I'm pretty sure this article is going to be taken off, but let's go here. Okay. So it says Shine's real name. Oh, by the way, I don't know if both of you know, Shine was a rapper that was in prison for a decade or so and then got out. So it's quite interesting. This guy's name is Shine. Let me just point that out. But his name is Matthew Allen, but that's not something you'll see on his manicured social media. About 4 years ago, Allen invested money he made from private equity into cards. So when you think of private equity, Ryan, what do you think of? Do you think of like firms like KKR, Carlyle Group? That's what I think of. Blackstone Group. What do you think of when you hear the term private equity?
As like what comes to mind?
Yeah, what comes to mind?
Like private equity firms?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean probably some of the ones that you're saying. What did it turn out to
Okay.
be?
Okay, that's good to know because I think my internet went off. Can you guys hear me? Oh, internet went off. Crap.
I can hear you.
I can still hear you.
Yeah.
This is
The article is still up there, Raul.
Can you hear us? I don't think he can hear us.
Raul, did you mute yourself? I think he muted himself.
Maybe it's on just the delay or something. We could still hear you, bro.
Ryan, can you hear us?
Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
Now we can, I mean, we heard you before, bro. I just think you couldn't hear us.
Can't hear you guys. What the hell just
Maybe
happened
you're
here?
muted.
I think you got infiltrated, Raul.
Bro, they're listening in on us.
I'm in a safe space. You know what's funny? They stopped me from
Shit.
talking once I got into this topic. Deep state, man.
Bro, it's
The
real.
hell? Deep state's censoring me.
Real.
Can Ryan still hear us?
Yeah.
Yeah, he said he could hear
Oh,
us.
cool.
God
Yeah,
damn it. What the hell?
Real time.
Fire your IT
censorship
team, bro.
by AI.
This is hilarious. I'm trying to get back on my internet.
Proof it's live.
It's weird that we
Okay, you guys do the talking while I try to figure this out. I can't even hear you on
Yeah.
my phone.
So what Raul is talking about, he's talking about the Shine article, and it's on ESPN. Did you you know anything on that, Ryan?
Actually, I don't. Yeah, I'll have to check it out if you guys send me a link or something.
Yeah. So based upon the article, what is his name? Matthew Allen, I think it is. I wish Hobby Shark was here because that's more up his space. But
Let's go through the comments. Because yeah, we touched on that. Hold on.
it's tied to the Luka Doncic sale, right?
Yeah, through PWCC. He's been putting bounty on high-end cards too. So like,
Well,
I don't know.
Raul.
To me, it's just way too fishy for somebody with that background. In the circles he's networking in within the hobby, the higher ups of the hobby, it just to me it's just. That's why I said earlier, it's a house of cards built on lies. This hobby's turned into a complete racket.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Interesting.
Can you hear us, Raul?
Yeah, I hear is the deep state.
Oh, nice. They tried to censor you, bro.
Yeah, they tried to censor me, so I won't
Ryan
censor myself.
was just talking about how the Cubs are terrible.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So what happened? So I don't know what you're talking about.
You
uh,
mentioned the ESPN article and everything.
Yeah, the ESPN article. So I was saying that, hey, look, so private equity. So I was asking him what he thinks of private equity. So firms like that. So I just find it quite interesting that this guy, Shine, he made money from private equity. I'm just wondering what private equity firms he worked with. He could have, he could have worked with the Blackstone Group for all we know.
Yeah, so we don't know. Is that kind of the right?
Yep. All right, let's take a look at some of the comments here.
Quite a bit of comments in here. Yeah,
I
46 people watching
looked
you.
for a second. And I was like, I don't even know where to start where we left off. So I just
didn't.
That's how you know it's real when they start infiltrating, blocking AIH's internet.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess your microphone's not small, Raul.
Yeah, just like card porn. Well, why would card porn make 2 posts about me? I just found it interesting.
They call you the boogeyman for a reason.
Yep. So Reckoning says they passed a law they could use propaganda on the news. Steve, I told you. You're fake news. Oh man.
Yeah, he's right. Reckoning is right. I forgot all about that.
Yeah, that was like what, 9 years ago, 8 years
The
ago.
intelligence agency came up with the idea of conspiracy theory. They like coined that term to get people to like not believe
The JFK stuff.
Yeah.
Is that what?
Hey, they declassified a lot of that stuff. I encourage everybody to go look at that shit. So
well, if you talk about the real reason of JFK, I think some people would think
agency was involved with that shit.
Are you sure is this intelligence agency or other intelligence agencies?
Well, I'll let people. No comment.
No comment. It's YouTube. All right. AIH is racist. Well, that's what some people say. They say that about Hobby Shark. I wonder why.
That's why I changed my costume.
Don't worry, I'll be sexist now. They'll get on me for being sexist.
I mean, you've already been accused of being sexist on this thread.
Pretty much.
That is true. That's why you're sweet daddy.
Sweet daddy.
Splendidly.
Splendidly. That's what Reckoning gave me that nickname, which I am now going to legally change it to. Sweet daddy, splendidly.
JMS63 has a yep, exactly.
In many ways, sports cards can be addicting as cocaine. I've never done cocaine, so I can't comment on this.
It can be addictive from for sure, like the gambling aspect as far as breaking and prospecting and spending money. Like I think people get addicted to like the transactions and stuff. So
right.
I mean, Dustin did a video on his
about addiction
to sports card where he just kept buying. Like I can. I mean, I don't know if I would say I'm out of control, but I don't know if I'd say I'm addicted, but I definitely understand the endorphin rush from buying new cars that you want.
Is my nose white? I'm sorry.
What is this fucking Prop Central? What is it?
Sorry. No,
I know you're in LA, man, but
there's
geez Louise.
There's a certain content creator at Jelly Beans that made they may do that kind of stuff when they're on camera. Just saying. Sorry, I just saw cocaine and I'm good now.
So, Ryan, what do you think about addiction? A sports card addiction.
Oh, absolutely. I'll give.
He's sitting there laughing.
I'll be honest with you. Like, I got a little bit addicted to breaking probably back in 2015, 16, and just had to quit it cold turkey because I'm like, man, I look back at like how much money I was spending on it and the amount of cards that I got out of it and what those were kind of worth. And I was like, it's fun and it's a rush, but it's not worth it at all. I mean, you hit that one big card and you go, I want to do that again. And it may be another 6 months before that happens and how many thousands you're down. And back then it wasn't even really, we're not talking about big money as compared to today. I'm talking about a couple $100 as opposed to some people that are probably in the hole for thousands, tens of thousands at this point. So yeah, it's truly addictive. I mean, and like you said, just buying cards is addicting, but I've gone to a budget. So I got my monthly budget and that's how I do it. Yeah. So I've got a allotted budget and I also try my best to spend from what I sell. So if I sell a card, I spend from that pool until, it's out and then, let me sell another card and spend from that pool. That's been ever since 2020, really. When things started getting crazy because I looked at prices and I'm like, I got to do this because I could go in deep if I don't.
Right. Sorry, we were just laughing at the person spoofing She Collects Cards.
Yeah, no worries. I'll have to get on the chat here. Let me see if I can load it.
I don't know if you can see that comment, Steve. I'm not going to put it up there. LT is busting out laughing. Do you see that, Steve? That comment?
By who?
She Collects Cards?
She Collects Cards spoof account, 10:39 or 11:39 your time.
Hold on. I don't think it popped up on my thing.
Oh, my God.
She Collects?
Yeah.
Comments not on my thing.
Oh, is it not? You can't see it?
Sometimes I don't get all the comments. That's
I think it must have, the algorithm must have deleted it.
Put it up on the board.
Oh, okay.
Put up there.
Was it at me?
No, it's at
now
me,
you
bro.
can see it, Steve.
Her idol is Shine. I told her she needs to continue looking up to Shine.
Oh my God. We're going to get flagged one day.
Ryan, you know this chat is free for all, man. I hope you know.
Hey,
Ryan.
man,
you just never know what's going to happen,
good.
Ryan.
Yep.
Ken Golden could show up anytime.
Then you know that I'm completely compromised. Oh, man. Oh, man. So living with LT, he posted a comment. Hannah, I heard you look up to shine, not go down. Okay. I know She Collects Cards. She had a Instagram reel where she said that she wants to grow up to be like Shine. That's quite interesting. Do you want to grow up to be like Shine? Any of you?
Not me, but to a degree, there may be some naivety there where maybe not a lot of people do know. Because I'll be honest, I didn't know about some of the stuff until Hobby brought it up. You know what I mean? So like maybe there is a sense of naivety where people don't know what's totally going on. But
yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? So like I gotta give, that's where I always said, like, I gotta give some grace period for people to look at let the dust settle, and once they get all the information, then they can kind of figure out what's going on and maybe how they wanna move. But I don't know. It's just so noisy of a space now where it never used to be like that. This hobby was never marketed like this. The social media trends weren't ever, the hobby wasn't that big on social media, if I ever remember right, before 2020. I mean, yeah, you had certain things, but it's just gotten so fucking polluted with noise.
I mean, I was polite.
And money and funny money. So the combination of the few things, it's just going to get, we're dealing with the ripple effects of the splash from 2020, and it's gonna take about 10 years to figure out what is really worth what and what's going on in this space.
Right. I mean, I posted on one of her reels. What is it called? I was just polite, unless she got rid of it. I think it's still there. Oh yeah. So yeah, she says I want to be like Shine 150 when I grow up. And then I see a lot of people they commented saying, "Oh, you go girl," or something like that. And I said, I don't think you'd want to be like Shine if you look at his past.
Hey man, this space you can pretty much do whatever. You're going to be forgiven and put on the Mount Rushmore shit. I mean, it's
Right.
you know what I mean. Like he's not the only dude. We got guys with grading companies who are band trimmers and shit. Like we got guys in front of auction houses that were involved in certain cases. So
I mean, like
that's not
look
me.
at
Like there's a lot of lies and deceit in this hobby, but people get taken advantage of because it's an escape. And I get it, you know, after 2020 when everything went down, people were kind of like, what else were you going to do? So fake
yeah.
money and fake attention got poured into this bitch.
Yeah, I mean, like if you look at the Mastro documents, Ken Golden's name was listed on there. What did he? And he's like, what?
Conspiracy, you're a conspiracy theorist.
It's not a conspiracy theorist now. I mean, people call me a conspiracy theorist,
I know.
you know, without mentioning me by name, and then I call them out. Right, LT? Right? Didn't you say some dude called me a conspiracy theorist the other day or a few
That's
weeks
like on
ago?
a daily basis, dude.
Yeah, every day. Tinfoil hat. Exactly, with the bad webcam or whatever. But
They sure get quiet when you call them out.
yeah, exactly. And then they'll send me a message. No, I wasn't talking about you. Don't take it the wrong way.
They apologize
shut-
to you, and then
Yeah.
you screenshot it, and then it makes them look even worse
Hey, you
because
know
then
what?
they try to retract it, but we saw the message originally.
Yeah, exactly. Like the other day, like I was saying, like sports card nonsense. I grabbed something from the Wayback Machine from a few years ago, and then that got them to message me right away.
Call
And
me
then-
a conspiracy theorist. I don't give a shit. I'd rather be set apart. I don't want to be a part of this go along, get along bullshit.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like Kwame Brown, right? Go along, get along, gang, whatever it's
Man,
called.
call me what you want. I'm not a part of the gang. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you call me out, and this is a cousin collectible to see this.
Steve.
We talking about AIH and give credit so we don't get sued. That's great. That's great.
Shout out cousins. I think it's Tony who runs that account. Cousin Tone.
Yeah.
He's my guy.
Like Bob Boozle says, sports card Illuminati forbids influencers from saying AIH sports on air. I'm pretty sure.
Well, here's the thing, Steve and Raul. We always talk about this, but remember, it's a sponsorship, right? When you're sponsored, you have a master. You're always looking like this. Oh, I can't say what I can say. Oh, shoot. I gotta read off the script. But it's kind of nice in here. We can say whatever we want. They can't do anything about it. Ryan, how do you feel about sponsorships?
No, you're absolutely right. And even guys that I have respect for, I've seen them skirt around and not name names, you know, and kind of generalize, even if they have opinions. And it's kind of sad, you know, and I get it in a way because, I mean, that's your income is based on that, and you could get dropped. But at the same time, yeah, it's nice to just speak your mind still. Platforms like you guys have is needed and good, you know, and I think it's a great thing.
Yeah, think about sponsors. You are controlled when you have sponsors. So, you know.
Hey, put Poochie up on here. Put Poochie. Let him come live.
Hey, Poochie, you want to come on the stream? We could
Come
have
and address him, man. I'm right here.
What?
Call me racist, Poochie. Let's go.
Oh, jeez.
I didn't know that Asians could be I am a minority myself.
Ugh.
I didn't know I could be racist, man. I mean, I know Asians are pretty bad to other people, but no, I'm with an Italian guy here, an Indian guy, and somebody I don't know. I've never actually seen you, Ryan. So I'm not gonna call you by race.
We're all made in God's image in my book. I love everybody.
You see how Poochie starts getting quiet? We see you, man. Did you put it right? Raul, it's at the very bottom. Put him on there. Put Poochie.
This one?
Put Poochie's comment. I mean, you can see everything I'm saying. DM me, man. That's right. You're quiet.
Brendan Ryan says conspiracy theorist implies you are aware of potential hanky panky. Conspiracy deniers are what you have to worry about. Yep, I agree.
I got about 5 minutes left, brothers. I forgot. I got something to kind of tend to. I just figured I'd let you know.
Okay, that's
I got
fine.
a few more minutes.
Okay, that's fine. Thoughts on box wars with kids? Is that gambling to bet a kid that your hit is better than his and winner takes all?
I think if you donate, it's different. If you're like donating it and letting the kids have their thing, but if there's money on the table, yeah, technically it would kind of be gambling or cards at play. I mean, it depends. You know, I think there's better way to introduce kids in this hobby than that route. Shout out Ziggy, love you, brother. But I just it's only going to escalate from there, and then next thing you know, you're going to have a young generation or kids who are addicted to breaking or gambling on like if that's what's bringing you into the hobby, a gambling aspect, it's probably not the healthiest way to introduce a kid into the hobby. You know, I'm not a parent. I'm just a sweet daddy. You can do what you want. I don't have any kids, but you know, I wouldn't introduce young kids into the hobby that way. That's just my opinion.
Ryan, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I agree. Shout out Ziggy. Love your stuff, man. I agree. I feel that just give them a box to rip together and have some fun, man. Why do we always have to treat it as like a gambling thing? And I know breaks are like a big thing and whatnot, but you know, it's like, what are we gonna teach the next generation? And what we're teaching them right now is that gambling's cool. You know, cards should be worth all this money. We should be treating this as a retirement plan. I mean, it's just the wrong stuff. Why don't we just get them in because they like to watch sports and the cards that they're collecting have their favorite sports players on it. That's why I got into it. You know, that's what I try to teach my kids, at least. They're not super into it. They're more into like Pokemon cards and stuff at this point. I mean, they're younger, but you know, if they get into sports, my son's getting into the Nuggets because I really love the Nuggets, and you know, I'm like, let's put it, yeah, man. It's like, you know, let's put a team set together. We went to a show, Denver show. I don't know, it might have been last year, but I was just like, yeah, let's buy like a team set. And it took a while to actually find anybody that just had low end hoops, but I got him a little team set for like $3 and he was like really excited about it. So yeah, man, Western Conference Finals, Nuggets. I'm excited.
Everybody knows I'm a KD guy, but if he was to lose, I'm glad it was to this fella.
Nice, I like that.
I was gonna say, I know you got some nasty Jokic's, bro. You know what's weird is like when I first got into basketball, like PCing, my first PC guy was Melo in Denver. So like something about the number 15 in Denver, I don't know. It's just like fall in love with them 15s from Denver.
I love that he has number 15. Yeah, it's great,
bro. It's like the number of the goats of Denver.
I'll tell you what, though, man. Like all my Jokic cards about back in the day, I don't think I could afford anything nowadays. Well, I probably could, but I can't justify the prices anymore. So I'm kind of glad I was buying his stuff like when he wasn't even playing. A lot of the stuff I have, at least, you know, a decent amount. But yeah, he's just a phenomenal player.
Dude, I got in a debate with a couple buddies of mine who are big Embiid guys. If Tony's still in the chat, I'm not pumping him up like he's the best center of all time. But the way I say it is like we've just never seen a center like him. Who do you compare him to? Like he's the most non-defensive, unathletic point guard like center that can literally facilitate an offense from anywhere on the floor. It's just something we've never seen before.
I would say like the closest comparison would be like Tim Duncan. Not a lot of flash, but knew how to play the game. And surprisingly enough, like I'm a big Tim Duncan guy too. So I guess I'm just drawn to these guys that are not very athletic, but can play
Yeah, dude.
ball.
They're never going to be a media splash, and they're never going to say anything that's going to like attract attention. But it's just like if you watch them play, it's just undeniable. It's like, what the fuck am I watching here? This is just greatness, but nobody talks about it, themselves included.
Yeah. No, is that even, Nuggets can make a splash, and I bet you still people would be saying it was a fluke or, not talking about it.
Ryan, I just got to say something. My brother is in the chat. His name is also Ryan, and he is a huge Tim Duncan. There it is.
Oh,
He's
nice.
a huge Tim Duncan fan. I just messaged him the other day. I was like, bro, for as much as you like Tim Duncan, you need to jump on the Joker bandwagon. Like, this is the guy. Like, he's the guy.
Yeah, and you know what? I should probably not be a Spurs fan for the amount of times that they knocked us out of, playoffs appearance and stuff like that. But I just always kind of respected his game, and I'd say I liked him as a player, but it was probably 2017, 18. I was like, man, this guy was so great. I mean, he's definitely in the top 10, at least in my opinion.
Oh,
and that conversation,
bro.
Yeah,
people that don't even consider him top 5, it blows my mind.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say he's top 5.
Tim Duncan should be around 4 or 5 all time.
Yeah,
considering what he did as quiet. I think Tim Duncan was too quiet of a guy. That's why he doesn't get that.
He's not controversial.
He's not controversial. He's just a quiet guy. He does his thing, and that's why. I mean, I like him.
Yeah, he doesn't capture anybody's imagination because it's not flashy. He's not personality-wise flashy, but like, name me another guy. What is it? 3 MVPs and 5 finals or 5 championships? Like
5 championships. Yeah.
I mean,
that's crazy.
To be honest with you, his resume is better than Kobe's, and people put Kobe over him, and I'm thinking, what?
But Kobe's flashy. Kobe was flashy.
Granted. David Robinson at the end of his career, and he played with Manu and Tony Parker. I don't think Duncan ever played with a top 5, 10 guy on his team. He had a good team, but like Kobe's played with a top 5 player, an MVP candidate for half of his titles.
Right.
Over half.
Look at the Nuggets now. I mean, we don't have any other All-Stars on the team.
Facts.
I mean, you could say maybe Murray's close, but
he's close, but it's funny is people get distorted because during the regular season he never gets love, but when he does stuff in the playoffs, then everybody jumps on the bandwagon because when he was going off in the bubble too. But you're right, regular season he doesn't get any hype, any love.
Playoff Murray is a little bit different than regular season Murray. I will say that
is weird,
that's
bro.
Pretty close to being the truth.
Isn't it weird? He's like 30 a night in the playoffs. It's insane. And you know what? If Porter and Gordon can legit be consistent, they should beat the Lakers. Like, they should beat them. I'm not trying to count my chickens. But, like, if they show up and move the ball and move the ball the way they do, they should beat the Lakers.
I was actually excited that we're playing the Lakers, to be honest, because we always had difficulty against the Warriors. So when I saw the Lakers,
I agree.
was like, okay, that's good.
Matchup. Because you have so much stretch shooting with Golden State. I don't know how that would have matched up well with guys like Porter and Gordon. Like, they're good defense. Well, Gordon's a good defender, but is he a good defender out to the 3-point line as much as he is, keeping guys from the mid-range inside? Like, I thought that was a tricky matchup. I think they do. And I think Anthony Davis is a phenomenal defender, but now he's actually going to have to face a real center, like a guy who's 7 foot that's actually going to be on the floor.
Yeah, I mean, it would be a fun series regardless. I mean, Lakers obviously have LeBron, so you can't count them out no matter what. I mean, they do have a pretty good team, to be honest. So I just think it'll be fun. I see your Lakers hat.
You're good. Yeah. No, I'm just having a side chat with one of AIH's guys, and just want to give him a shout out to David Robinson on there.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
No,
David. Go ahead, LT.
Yeah. No. There's no need. It's real sees real. Poochie, love you, man. Good conversation. At the end of the day, You know, sometimes things get wild and stuff, but mad respect to you sticking to what you believe in. And I don't want people to put narratives on people. And so that's another conversation. I'm not going to disrespect my friend Raul's stream, but Poochie and I are truce. So we good, my bro. We were talking about David Robinson complimenting Tim Duncan. And I saw Laura was putting the comments in there, and I love talking basketball with you guys because just the well balance of stuff. It's not just about the cards, right? Talking about the sports that relates to it. But someone as a military service member myself, I respected the hell out of David Robinson as a Laker fan. The fact that he served and did a couple of championships, right? And the fact that he was twin towers with Tim Duncan just was an amazing time to see those guys. Because as a Laker fan, anytime you're in a rival and you're watching other teams go at it, you can't help but respect the other team. And I'm sure, Ryan, you would agree with that, right? I mean, the Spurs and Lakers thing always would go hand in hand as respect. You know, I mean, you guys had 5 championships because of Tim Duncan and not Ginobili came on later, but you know, with Duncan, Ginobili, and Parker, right? And you know, David Robinson was just an absolute beast. I mean, people forget his game. Like Tim Duncan took the throne essentially, right? But then, man, what was it about it, Ryan, that you loved about David Robinson, his game style?
Just in general.
Yeah, as a fan, man.
Probably.
I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, back in the day, you know, I was a kid back in the day collecting, but you remember that hoops card? Probably the famous David Robinson rookie card of him. It's just him standing there. Is it him holding a jersey or something? Is that right?
Was it?
I gotta look at it.
90?
When he came, yeah, I think he was late 80s, Steve. Yeah,
late 80s. Maybe it wasn't even 89. It might have even been earlier.
Yeah, it's his 89 hoops. 89 hoops.
Okay.
So I had that card and thought, you know, oh man, I'm awesome. I have the best David Robinson card. This will be worth hundreds of dollars in, you know, 20 years or whatever. But yeah, just definitely respect for him and his game. I mean, that was, you know, when I was a kid, I loved sports, loved watching them.
Yeah.
But, you know, I was a kid as well, so I wasn't like super paying attention. But I can tell you from like just collecting perspective, like when that card came out, that was during like the height of the madness, or it was reaching the height of the madness, right? And I also remember was that Skybox card. I think it was like 90 Skybox, you know, with the computer graphics that were all new, and he had that card. That's like a classic card. But yeah, just I think him, guys like Duncan, they definitely had respect for the game, you know. Just led a nice legacy, you know, really, because you can look back and they weren't very controversial, but or flashy or anything like that, but they just played a solid game.
Hard and got the job done.
Exactly.
He was like the foundation of the house that was built. It's a good thing he got one at the tail end.
Right.
Yeah.
David Robinson was really the foundation of that Spurs dynasty that was to come.
Yeah, because he was on, what was the 2 seasons with Duncan or 1 season, whatever.
I think it was.
What was the season?
I'm trying to remember now. Duncan was a rookie in 97, so I think he retired in 98, 99, so it might have been 2 years. I can't
he did
remember.
Win that championship.
I think Duncan's rookie year, they were good, and then Duncan's second year is when they won. So that would have been Robinson's last year. Or maybe Robinson played one more. I can't remember exactly.
No, he's a 2-time champion. So he won in 99, and then he won in 2003. Because remember, it was between the Lakers and Spurs with the Shaq Kobe dynasty.
Robinson?
So they won. Yeah.
Robinson only has one, I thought.
No, I'm looking up right now. Yeah,
really?
99. He won 2003. Yep.
Damn, he played longer than I thought.
Yeah. And I remember that because remember the Lakers and the Spurs rivalry. It was between the two. Because the Rockets won the middle.
I thought he retired for the second one.
Right. Yeah. So
I thought he was too. Yeah. You're right though. Yeah.
I'm fake news. I'm sorry.
No, you're good, man. It's okay to reference to it. I mean, that's the point. We don't know the difference is we're actually looking this up and talking about the information. You know what I mean? We're not sitting there pulling out of our ass, you know? I I want to piggyback on what you guys were saying. I do love those the hoops cards. Just I know that they were so mass produced with the junk wax error, but I love the simplicity of the designs and the fact that Panini brought it back and they were just so original, right? And the other thing too is I love uniforms. I'm sure Steve will contest this and Raul, and I'm sure yourself, Ryan. But those Spurs uniforms, my favorite one is when they had kind of like that, the neon blue and orange type thing. You know what I'm talking about, Ryan? Where they had kind of that kind of like that 80s kind of look
Yeah.
on it.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yep.
That's my favorite jersey of the Spurs. That I loved that jersey. So I'm a jersey kind of guy. So I really like to see those kind of things with it. Just like the Nuggets. I love their rainbow one. The one back in the 80s.
Yeah.
I bet
Those are
you
cool,
do.
man.
I've got one of those throwbacks. So
No, those are sick. Those are sick. Jokes
yeah,
aside.
yeah, I have a Gallinari. So Gallinari is one of my PC guys. I just love Danilo Gallinari. He's playing for Celtics now, I think, but he's got that ACL injury. But anyway, yeah, I've got one of those throwback ones because they did a throwback design. I want to say it was when he was still playing a couple of years ago. But yeah, those are super cool with the Denver skyline. Yeah, they're really cool.
Yeah. Now
Ryan.
that Raul's back, real quick, guys, I got to take off. I got to make a phone call. I will be in the chat as soon as I'm done, but I got to something's up, so I got to make a phone call. And
All right.
All right,
I
Steve.
don't know how
Love you,
long
man.
it's going to take. So,
Okay.
but Ryan, it was great chatting with you, bro. Thank you for coming on. LT, always, brother. It's always good
Love
to
you,
chat
brother.
with you. Go
All right.
Nuggets.
See-
Good luck. Go Nuggets. And Raul, appreciate you for
Yep.
having
Thanks
me
for coming on.
You guys all stay blessed. God bless everybody in the chat.
You too, man.
I'll talk at you guys later.
Take it
All
easy.
right. See ya.
Thank you.
So you were talking about what? While I was gone, you were talking about what? David Robinson?
we were just basically talking about the Spurs and just giving Ryan love for his team, and then we talked about David Robinson, the uniforms and the hoop cards. I don't know if you have anything, Raul, on that, but I did want to ask Ryan, since we're on the topic of the Spurs. Kawhi Leonard is from my area. He grew up in Southern California area. He went to San Diego State. I've always been a big fan of him, and it kills me to see him on the Clippers, but what I loved him on the Spurs, and the fact that at the tail end he won that championship, not saying single-handedly, but that's when he really came from a defensive player and moved up and showed the offensive threat. He became very similar to Jimmy Butler. When Kawhi Leonard took off from you guys with the whole load management, and he went to Toronto, win the championship, was it pretty devastating for you, Ryan, as a Spurs fan with Kawhi Leonard, or how did you feel about that whole situation?
Well, I'm probably not the biggest Spurs fan that you'd think of, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, I can just speak to it generally. It's I think there was more of an emphasis back in the day of like sticking to your team. A lot of people wanted to. I mean, look at Tim Duncan. He's drafted and stuck with the Spurs. Was he drafted by the Spurs? I think he wasn't like traded at
Tim Duncan. I think
he was
his whole career is with the Spurs. Yeah.
So what happened was David Robinson was injured one year, and then they got the top pick, and then I think they got Tim Duncan.
Yeah, because he was number one. Yeah. So like that's the way I look at it, is like that how it goes nowadays. There's no real gonna stick with my team. I mean, a lot of players still do it, but not as many as back then. And I don't know the reasons. A lot of times they'll get traded, but there's just something about sticking with the team that drafted you, believing in them, and that's why I like Jokic so much, because I mean he's stuck with us. He probably could have gone anywhere he wanted, the past couple of years, right? But he committed to the team because he's just like, they had faith in me. Dude was picked 41st in the draft, right? We gave him a chance, and he turned into what he is now. But yeah, it's kind of rubs me in the wrong way, these guys switching from team to team. I don't really know the specifics on a lot of times, but yeah, it's like a hobby buddy of mine, he's a big Raptors fan, and he brought them that championship. So I thought that was great. So in that aspect of it, is like, if he can go there and help them win a championship, cool. I guess that's kind of my thoughts on it, at least.
Yeah. Bro, I have about half an hour left, so I didn't
Yeah.
know with Ryan what he had, but I'm up to discussing whatever topics.
Yeah, we took about whatever. I don't know how long. What is it called? No, let me just this
What's up,
comment.
Victor? Is this your guy?
Victor, no, I don't know which Victor it is. I could see AIH and dude with the Laker hat. Is the other dude doing blackface? That's messed up. No,
I just think it's a privacy thing.
it's a privacy thing. It has nothing to do with race.
Yeah.
Just want to address it before anything gets,
I think the best way, since we have a guest and we don't have the usual people, is Ryan can also show his obviously he's a card collector person. He has his own set of knowledge, just like we all do. I would say go through some of the comments right there and just kind of put some good ones on there to
let's
talk
do
with.
that. All right, Ziggy says Duncan Admiral were beasts back in the day. Both are underappreciated what they did. Imagine if they were on the Lakers, not the Spurs. Oh yeah, I like David Robinson, and he's a military guy, as LT said. So I have a lot of respect for him, and also he's a successful businessman. I don't think a lot of people know that.
Right.
He made millions of dollars in venture capital, and I think he just sold his venture capital or private equity firm. The real private equity, by the way, not like this, like some other person out there who shall remain nameless.
Just asking questions.
Asking questions. Maybe I'll do a video on this, right, to see how hardcore people will go. Oh man, I'll avoid trimmed by buying raw cards. Well, the thing is, some of the raw cards out there are trimmed. So
make sure Ryan, if he has anything to say or anything.
Ryan, if you have anything to say.
Did you see any comments, Ryan?
I got into the YouTube.
Are you on the SteamYard, or you can look on the YouTube too if you're watching? I don't know if you're on your phone, but if you want to, Ryan, totally up to you, man.
Yeah, I mean,
joking.
If you notice, the way we flow is very freestyle. We're not like a certain influencer.
Yeah, we have our lives get pretty intense. We had like some conversations that make some people uncomfortable, but that's how we roll.
Hey, that's a good time.
And you're like, Ryan's like, what did I get into?
It's not scripted.
She's like, oh crap, I can't align with myself with anyone now after this.
It's all we don't talk over each other, right? If you notice, we have a very good way of how we discuss things, to people's horns or anything, and we don't block comments and we address everything. I mean, I literally just addressed an issue and we're good now.
They're good. They're good.
So seriously, it's there's nothing to hide here. That's what it comes down to. And you're not going to get
what this live stream's about. We're not fake.
Yeah, we're not sponsored. We're not paid. So it's you're going to get it as real as it gets right here.
And we talk about reckoning, and no one talks about reckoning.
Jerry Springer.
What happened?
He says it reminds him of Jerry Springer. Ryan, do you have any of your own thoughts and stuff that you want to discuss? Just out of curiosity, man. What's on your mind, man? Anything with cards and stuff like that you've been wanting to talk about? Not to put you on the spot, man. Just ask.
Yeah. No, it's all good. I don't know if you guys saw, I came out with a video on card cracking a couple of days ago.
You came out with card cracking, huh?
Yeah. So I think a lot of people now transitioning from focusing specifically on making a bunch of money and buying graded cards because they're valuable. Maybe they want to crack out now. The reason I do it is throw them into binders. But I had one a while back that I did on Instagram, and I put it on my YouTube, but it was in portrait mode and kind of, bad audio and stuff. So I came out with a new one. So for anybody that's interested in trying to get your cards out safely, I got that going.
Card cracking. Can you elaborate a little bit more on what you're not talking about cracking all the slabs, right?
No, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay.
It was. I'll tell you, back in the day, I think I put my first one out in probably 2020 on Instagram, and I got a lot of people saying, "Why the hell are you doing that?" I said, "Because I want to put them in a binder." Because that's how I enjoy my collection. So I think nowadays maybe people are understanding a little bit better. I've seen some of the bigger accounts on Instagram even getting cards out And most people will get them out to resubmit them, but some people get them out just to throw them in a mag. So I think it's kind of cool to see that that's becoming a little more popular now and a little more accepted, I guess. So anyway, check out the video if you guys are
He has a
interested in doing
Babuzo
it
gave him a
safely.
comment.
Yeah,
You have a comment, Orion. Babuzo gave you one.
Oh yeah. Thanks, man. Yeah, I appreciate you.
he says, does our guest have plans for another explosive investigation?
Not anytime soon. That
Not anytime soon. Okay, because I thought Hobby Shark reached out to you about something, unless it was a different person.
yeah.
Well, we'll have to wait till Hobby comes.
No, I mean, to be honest, like I had that one on my mind for a while. I was just like,
Yeah.
I think that this would be interesting for people, But the goal of my channel really was just to post me fumbling around with cards. I mean,
Right.
that's what I was doing on Instagram, and I was like, okay, now if I go over 10 minutes, it gets cut off, and I was getting pissed off about that, and I was like, maybe I'll just stop doing videos altogether. Somebody suggested, hey, go over to YouTube. And then I came over to YouTube, and I'm like, wow, this kind of opens a lot of possibilities, because not only can I make longer videos, I can do editing and kind of make things interesting. So I got going with things, and I'm like, you know what? I've got this little 2-part series about collecting cards after the boom. You guys can check it out if you haven't. But it was basically my way of like saying what I've been saying for a couple of years in a condensed, 10-minute little segments, right? So yeah, it's been interesting. I don't have anything in the works to blow anybody's mind, but I will say that I'm gonna start going through my collection a little bit more. People seem to really enjoy that, because I've got my Nugget stuff from the 90s. Every time I post a photo of it on Instagram, people are like, wow, that's really cool. And I figure I got some knowledge on that stuff, so that's kind of my next one. Is just going to be going through my 90s binders of parallels, like PMGs and stuff that people nowadays freak out about. It'd be interesting because 10 years ago nobody cared about those,
right?
So
that's a pumped market.
The Jordan PMGs?
The Jordan has always been popular, but I'm just saying PMGs in general. So like a guy you've never heard of that sells for $2,000 now, you could get that card for $30 10 years ago, easy.
Oh yeah.
Like a no-name player. Now it's like a big thing to have, and I get it. That stuff is actually rare, so it's like once people figure that out, hey, I'll just buy one, because maybe they bought it because it's the cool thing. But they are cool cards, and I'll be perfectly honest, I think the red and green PMGs are ugly. But 97 championship is where it's at. But anyway, yeah, that's kind of what I'm going to get back to mainly. And yeah, if something comes into my mind that's just like, hey, I want to make something about this, I feel strongly about this topic, I'll still do it. But yeah, nothing big planned that won't blow anybody away by any means. I don't think.
Let's see this. Reckoning says, it bugs me when people crack slabs with no glasses on.
To get it.
I wear glasses, so I
wear glasses, so.
And they can't see me, but yeah,
I
glasses wear.
I find that interesting what Ryan was saying earlier. I actually haven't done it because I've cracked slabs before, but not to resend out to a grading company. But it's exactly what you were saying, is like, sometimes I don't like the slab. It's just, especially if it's a cheaper one, or like a GMA or some no-name one. I just like the raw card, so I can display it in a one-touch, right? Or into a top loader. I take what like Raul's method is, he buys CSG slabs, right? Because they tend to be much cheaper, right? But I use that method. I kind of adopted it because for my PC cards, I can find it much cheaper in CSG slab. At the end of the day, right? The slab is just the appraisal, right? It doesn't matter. I mean, once you crack it, that's it, right? And then if you are going to try to go grade it, at the end of the day, do you pay for the card for the love of it, or do you pay for it for the appraisal? It's really two things. That's pretty much it with graded cards. And so that's cool that you shared that, Ryan, because that's refreshing to hear.
Oh yeah.
So cracking CSG slabs it's just more annoying getting the card out. I
They're
don't know
pretty
if
thick.
yeah, it's pretty thick, and the PSA slab, it's easy to crack out.
I'm gonna bring one
And
out.
you're gonna bring a card out?
Yeah. I just want to bring
Right.
a CSG one. Yeah.
Yeah. So I haven't watched your video yet, Ryan, about that, but just my experience cracking a PSA card, getting the card out is much easier than CSG.
So
Or go ahead.
I was just gonna say I did my first CSG. So in that video, I crack a CSG. It's the first time I've ever done it. The PSA, I think, was a newer one, and it was tough. It wouldn't split. You can watch the video. I go
No,
over,
okay.
hey, it's good that you saw this because they don't always come out clean, because it did not come out clean, but the CSG did come out pretty clean.
Yeah.
But yeah, older PSA slabs, pretty easy for sure. I think the newer ones are actually sealed a lot better. That's why I had such a struggle with it. But
You guys talking about CSG?
yeah, I did my first CSG crack on that video. So
Was it the green one or the old one, the black one? You see it, right, Ryan?
It wasn't the black, so I think
Okay,
it
so
was
it's
maybe one of the green ones. Yeah,
Yeah, I can agree with Raul, because these things remind me of an HGA. They're right up there with HGA. I don't have an HGA in front of me.
Did they
but
get better after they went to the green labels, or?
I think they look nicer. I mean, if you look at it,
Yeah, they look better with the black slabs.
in my opinion, they
Black
look
color.
really nice. I don't like
Rather
that
than the green.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
I think
green
the
looked
green is
ugly.
so ugly. Yeah.
Yeah,
I usually go ahead, Brian.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I will say that CSG slabs are probably the most clear of any of the grading companies. Like
I
when
would
I got
agree.
that one
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
looked at it, I'm like, wow, this is almost like, it's almost better than the one touch. I mean, a one touch is nice because you take off the cover, of course, but they are pretty clear.
Have you seen an RCG one?
Don't think so.
Hey, LT, take a look at this comment by Steve.
Well, as we have our guests here, so I'm trying to do the level of cards. This company here, they're a little bit thinner, but I like this because do you see around the borders, Ryan? You see around the edges right there?
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's colored,
So
huh?
that is exclusive to them. So not to say, and I like the company personally for PC, and Raul has backed me up. He's known I've said this a million times. If you were to crack this, essentially they would. It's going to be damage control, because if you were to resubmit to them or whatever, this is basically the quality control, because this is organic to the actual slab for RCG. But I just think the color match looks so nice. I'm not too big of the fan of the writing, but I love the edges, the way it looks, so from afar. For PC, that's what I like.
Yeah, and you know what, man? It's like whatever you want to collect, and that's
Exactly.
what I've always been too. It's like I don't crack them because I'm against grading by any means. I just like my cards in a binder. I'm old school. That's the reason 90% of the time I'm cracking my stuff.
No, it's a great point you're saying right there. Yeah. What about you, Raul? For your cards, you like a combination with slabs, but do you like to put them in one touches or in a binder, like what he was saying?
I mean, I usually put them in top loaders, and what I've noticed, through experience, right, is that if I'm buying older cards, or if I'm buying cards, I'm not putting them obviously near the sunlight, because that's going to destroy the cards. I mean, one of the cards which I thought was actually a counterfeit, right? It's probably just damaged because of lighting. The color is way off.
Yeah.
And this green is no longer a green, right? Unless if it's
it's like a teal blue almost.
Yeah, exactly. And then this yellow is not really a yellow. So I was going through the card, and I didn't touch the surface or anything like that. I didn't want to take it out of the actual sleeve itself. But I mean, there could be an instance where this is a fake, and some instance it's not, looking at the back of it.
Right.
But obviously, I put in a top loader, but for my PC, if I wanted to grade, I'm going to grade it right away, and obviously avoid the lighting, because it's going to damage the card.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, I think you're probably right. That's probably sun damage. I've seen that. I've actually had cards like that before, because I've had them on display for so long that they fade, and you don't really think about it. And then you grab the card after a year or two, and you're like, looking at another card for the same set, and you're like, oh shit.
It's like
Oops.
it's like the Topps Chrome series, like with Kobe's rookie year. Remember the Chrome? They get the greening. It's this right, the same concept, right? The way it's storage, it would get affected. You know, for the Chrome refractors.
Oh
You
yeah,
get
yeah.
you get that greening. Yeah, I think it's
You
for the
know,
air.
Go back. You guys listen to Wax Museum podcast?
I follow his channel from time to time. I
Yeah,
listen
same
to
here.
So
his last video.
he's got a great video on the greening that happened with the late 90s finest and all that. It was actually due to the chemicals they used to produce those cards. They
That would
over
make
time
sense.
react with
That makes
each other
sense.
and turn that green color. So yeah, I mean, lighting can do it as well. It can fade them out and stuff like that. But he had one of the guys on one of his podcasts that had come up with that technology. So pretty interesting little.
So let me ask you both. You may have more experience in this. Which grading slab is good for the actual card in the long run? Because people are telling me, or I've looked into it.
Yeah,
They said
Right in
that
front of you.
Beckett slabs are the best for
They're my
protecting.
favorite. I'm biased them. I think they're the best.
Yeah.
What do you
What about you,
think,
Ryan?
Ryan?
Yep, I agree. So I got another video, and I did it for Instagram, but it's
Okay, I gotta
I
check
have
it
this
out.
raw versus graded, and I talk about that, and I do actually agree with you, LT. I think that for long-term storage, I think Beckett's the best. Now they don't look the best because they got that inner sleeve, but for protection, if that's what you're focused on, I just want to get my card graded for protection. Yeah, by far, and it's really it's that inner sleeve, and I think Beckett gets a lot of flack, but you know, I don't really pay attention to all that stuff most
Yeah.
of the time. I've graded one time, and it was with Beckett, and it was actually a lot of my Jokic cards. Like he had his 16-17 select card, which is a die cut, and I was like, how do I store this? I store it in a mag, and it'll just get all banged up. So I decided to send
Right.
it to Beckett,
Good
and
point.
I feel confident that that card's going to stay in there, and I don't have to worry about it getting dinged up and whatnot. So yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, the die cut, and then if you have the mini cards too, I think they would look better in the slab and protect the card. I'm right.
Mhm.
I agree with you, Ryan.
The thing is that, like you both of you are saying, a lot of people, they don't want Beckett cards, but if they are good for long-term protection of the cards, then shouldn't people be looking into them just if they're more of a long-term collector or even quote unquote investor? I'm just, just thinking about this.
It's the
If it's a short-term flip, PSA makes sense. But if you're just thinking, okay, I don't like 5, 10 years or even longer.
it's a very fine line with how you're looking at long term, right? I just like Ryan. I think the Beckett slaps are gorgeous and they're going to store long term. But I have them for my PC. But I also have Beckett for, you're right, PSA for long term value. That's what prediction is right now. That's the hot market, right? Long term speaking, we don't know where the market will be in 10, 20 years, right? And you know that I invest in Brady and LeBron cards. And I'm going to either pass it on to my kid or I'm going to sell at some point at the peak or whenever I need to do it. I'm not shy about that, right? But I'm right there with Ryan. I just think that the overall quality, the Beckett is going to be the better long term in terms of protection of the slab because PSA tends to be just a lot thinner than Beckett. But at the end of the day, it's the appraisal. That's what the slab is. It's the appraisal of the value. What do you think, Ryan?
Yeah, I agree. I think right now PSA has the name, PSA has the marketing. Beckett's been thrown under the bus a couple of times, and yeah, they've made some mistakes and come out with some, like that grading scale thing they're gonna try to change. They made some blunders. But yeah, if it's a PC long term hold thing where you're just wanting protection, I agree that I've always preferred Beckett. I mean, if you look back, Beckett has the name. I mean, going back to their grading their price guide from
Yep.
the 90s and stuff. It's always going to be a name. So opinions could change 5-10 years down the road. And once all the little, scandal stuff that goes on and stuff taken out of context, and I agree with the whole like people giving them crap for that grading thing. That was ridiculous. They're trying to get with the times and just totally swung and missed. But anyway, yeah, just for long-term sake, I will say that PSA is fine. I mean, it's a fine case, right? But I have had cards that I bought, especially chrome cards, be scratched up. I've cracked them out of the case, and I'm like, it's scratched because they move around a lot in there. There's nothing to protect them.
They're so boring too. I don't mean to cut you off, but I mean, look at the label. I mean, it's so generic. You see it, Ryan?
Yep.
I know you see it. It doesn't differentiate from the other cards. I don't think it has a character to it. It doesn't have that. You know what I mean? As a collector, I can't sit there and like PSA to me is just straight value. It's just, okay, I'm going to make money off it, but it's not, I don't care for their slabs for PC, but that's my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a good point. I don't really have a preference for like which one I like more. I would honestly probably like a raw card better. That's just the type of collector that I am. But like if I had to have the preference of picking, you have to grade this card, I would go with Beckett. You know what I mean? That's just me. So
have you guys seen the new Beckett labels? I haven't personally bought any or graded on there. Do they look a lot different than the silver?
Did they come out with the new labels? I thought they
came out. I don't know. That's why I'm asking, because I haven't bought a Beckett label in a while, unless your audience knows. I haven't seen one. That's why I was asking. I haven't bought a Beckett slab in a while.
Yeah, I don't know if they went with the new design or what. Yeah,
I thought they canceled it.
I don't know. That's what I was asking. I have no idea.
They had so much uproar, so they just canned it.
Yeah, I have no idea. That's why I was asking. That's why I was going to ask if your audience knows, because I have no idea if they know with the Beckett, if they know.
Yeah, they got all that pushback. Maybe they just decided to not go that direction.
And they got a new CEO too.
Yeah, I did see that.
And then I think Sports Card Radio is going to do a video on that guy.
I'm interested to see, because I don't know who he is.
I've never heard of this guy.
No.
So I'm curious. They have a story from 10 years ago. I'm curious. I didn't listen to their podcast from 10 years ago, but I do want to know what's up with this guy.
Has me intrigued as well.
Interesting.
Anyways,
I'm gonna rush off, Raul.
Okay.
I know I couldn't make it to the 3-hour mark, but it's Mother's Day, so I gotta be nice to the wife and get prepped for my mom tomorrow. But Ryan, it was a pleasure having you on here, man, and I hope to see you on my future stream, and of course Raul's. But yeah, it was a pleasure, man. Thank you for sharing your knowledge, and I learned a lot from you, and it was really good stuff, man.
Oh, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. No, thanks for having me on, guys. It's been fun.
Yeah, yep. I mean, I don't know if you're going to stay on, but I'm going to take off. And then Raul, appreciate you, brother. And you have a great show. And I'm sure I'll talk to you again soon.
All right. See ya. See ya, LT. Yeah, I think you have anything else to say? I mean, we covered quite a bit.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, I'm good. I was thinking about getting some sleep too, man, trying to fight off this cold.
Okay.
So, yeah. But yeah, no, I appreciate it, man, and keep doing what you're doing, because I really enjoy your stuff. So.
Yep. All right, man. It was nice having you on, and if we didn't scare you, you could come back on another time.
Yeah, for sure. No, you did. Yeah, I like the real talk, man. It's fun.
Awesome. All right, we'll talk another time.
All right, take it easy.
Yeah, you too. Bye.